Hi, folks. We are currently streaming live on YouTube, so welcome to anybody who's watching us there. And we will be starting in about 4 minutes. So please stay tuned and we will get back to you very soon. Thank you. Hey, folks, and welcome to our reading of The Dividing Line, written by Michael Turnblom. I am Elise Dewsbury. I am the artistic director at New Musicals, Inc., and we are an organization that tries to help writers develop new musicals. So this is one of the ways we do that is by having a reading of a work in its early phase of development, which is what's happening today. Michael's been working on this show for a while now in various different forms, and this is a brand new draft that nobody has heard yet. So we're very, very appreciative of any of you who are watching this because it's giving Michael a chance to see how things are going in this particular version of the show. You should know that we have a wonderful cast of people organized tonight to read for you. We've had exactly one rehearsal, but they're all brave souls and ready to go this evening. At this early stage of development, Michael has been concentrating on the book and lyrics of the musical. And so although he has had some music written in the past, we've decided to limit the music that we'll be presenting this evening to just 3 solo songs, all of which will happen in Act 2, so don't expect them in Act 1. And otherwise, we will be reading the lyrics because Michael wants to get feedback on how the story is working and how the lyrics are contributing to telling the story. I will be reading in the background, I will be reading some stage directions that will help you understand what you would see if you were seeing this piece live on stage. And we will, the piece is in 2 acts. So at the end of the first act, we will take a 10-minute intermission. Beyond all of that, I hope that everybody enjoys it. I will be attempting to a certain degree to monitor the YouTube chat while we are going. So if you have issues, concerns, thoughts, please feel free to put them in the YouTube chat. And stick around after we have finished. We will be inviting your feedback. You'll notice already that there is a link to a feedback form that is part of the description section underneath what you're watching right now on the YouTube page, and you're welcome to go there and fill that form out. We'll give you some other ways to give some feedback before the end of the evening. But without any further ado, I'm very proud to be able to present this reading of The Dividing Line by Michael Turnblom. I'm going to turn off my camera now and turn it over to the actors, and you'll be hearing me as a stage direction voice. So thanks, and we'll see you all. Dividing Line, La Divisoria, a musical, book, music, and lyrics by Michael Turnblom. The time is the present, and the place is Weston, a fictitious city in the western USA. Act 1, Scene 1, the small town of Weston at dusk. The scene is a freeway overpass with slanted sides that lead up to a perch just under the roadway. Ben enters, carrying a small travel backpack. He scrambles up to the perch and looks out at the view of the city. A moment later, Jose enters, looking around cautiously. He scrambles up the other side of the slope but doesn't see Ben, who slips into the shadows to avoid being seen. Jose checks to make sure no one is looking, opens his backpack and takes out a handgun, which he inspects for a few moments and then returns to his backpack. Suddenly, several gang members appear out of the shadows and approach Jose. And you are muted, Gersan?
Jose Alvarado, LA boy back again?
I don't got time for this.
Pinche puto, where are you in a hurry to go this late?
Not where you guys are going.
What if we gonna follow you?
What if then you gonna deal with people watching you?
Bruh, you lying. You ain't got no one here in Weston. Just that pretty sister of yours. Bring her here. I'll deal with her any day.
Leave me alone. Let me go home.
You lead the way.
Not on your life.
That's what he always says.
I'm not a stone in your pocket. I'm not an arrow in your quiver, and I ain't never gonna be.
Oh, stop it. I got a terrible shiver because homeboy here talking tough.
Enough.
You want some stuff? Just a puff?
Enough.
Oh, he getting rough. So where's my homie Ramon? Your boy ain't back from LA?
My brother's having to pay for all this crap you guys say.
He's paying how? Where is he now? He said the Mara knew it better. Take him farther if he'd let him, but LA does not own the show. Because here we making our dough.
My little bro wasn't smart. You and my tío stole his heart, promised gold that isn't true, threw him a bone he couldn't chew.
Just bring him here. I'll get him sorted.
He got his ass deported.
Son of a bitch. This is rich. Ramon couldn't take the heat. We homies here don't take defeat because all of us own the street. We following every beat, land on our feet, we do it neat. Because I'm the best in Weston, see? It's time to start investing in your destiny. Come on, Jose, what you say? This is your day. LA is not the way. Forget Ramon. Weston's your home, but here, you standing alone. All our saints may be dead, but the gringos, they ahead, keeping their asses fed, while us poor are here being bled. But here and now, it's you and me, my boys, and that you see. Eating the scraps, beating the traps, filling the gaps, giving the slap, kicking the crap.
We are the street dogs, and we fight to survive. When you hear our jive, kick it in overdrive, because we stay alive.
We are the street dogs, and we run with the pack. Got each other's back, launching a group attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because we the street dogs.
Tell my buddy Pocho I ain't buying his lies, and don't know why he tries. Betcha he never cries whenever a homie dies.
Cabron, you tripping. Thinking you're better than us. Trying to cause a fuss, don't know who you're messing with.
Look, I'm bummed by my bro. My parents still don't know. Still gotta tell him, so I think that I ought to go.
Just because you're an LA boy.
I'm from El Salvador.
It's like I told you before. You think you know so much more.
Then what you bugging me for?
Thought you'd never ask.
We are the street dogs and we fight to survive. When you hear our jive, kick it into overdrive because we stay alive.
We are the street dogs and we run with the pack. Got each other's back, launching a group attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Because we the street dogs.
You talk all big, but it's empty words.
Bruh, you got no idea. Once, I burned a sheriff's car. And once, I stole a guitar. Once, robbed a corner mart. Soiled a detective chart. And knifed a cabbie in the arm. Did him some harm, you see. I sent him to the hospital. And he wasn't the first. Because when I get the thirst, the punches start to burst. Nothing stopping me then. All that chicas love me so they know I'm here, the shiz. See me growing with the biz, we showing them how it is. So tell me where sister lives. I'll give her a pop quiz. Cause bruh, I'm walking free. I ain't never been caught. Could have happened a lot, bet you'd never thought. So let's hear some respect.
My family's my calling card. Don't touch him and we'll be fine. This really should not be hard. You do yours, and I do mine.
Big brother couldn't say Ramon. Sent him packing on his own. Damn. Jose, you're on your own. Next time, La Migra comes your way.
I'm walking away from this.
You ain't getting paid for this.
I've told you 1,000,000 times.
You don't got the will to climb. Bro, you roam these streets a lonely but talented man. So show us where you stand. You know, we don't understand if you a foe or a friend. Because ever since you came, you only been doing fate. But homies, we always wait. Because whether it's soon or late, you're going to be with us in the end.
Because we are the street dogs and we fight to survive. When you hear our jive, we kick it into overdrive because we stay alive.
We are the street dogs and we run with the pack, got each other's back, launching a group attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, we the street dogs. And you're here in our hood. Hope you're hearing it good. Let it be understood. Fear is our brotherhood. We using it like we should. It's making us thrive because we the street dogs.
As the song ends, Ben tries to sneak away.
Someone is there.
Un chavo.
Pinche, agárralo.
What if he's police?
No creo.
Who are you? And why you listening on us? You a cop?
No, I swear.
I swear. He ain't no fucking cop.
Look, man, I'm sorry. I was just hanging out. I didn't realize it would get dark so fast. I didn't know you guys would even be here.
Well, see, that's all good and all, but if you've been listening to us, then you know too much. That puts us in a predicament.
I didn't hear anything, I swear. Please let me go. I won't bother you again.
Bother me? Just looking at me is bothering me because it means you'll never know how to describe me to the cops.
Please, I would never.
We need to kill him, Pacho.
Matar? No. I'm just gonna jog his memory a bit.
Jose, unseen by the gang members, pulls the gun out of his backpack.
Please, no. I swear, I never heard anything. It's too dark. I don't recognize you. Please don't hurt me. Oh, God, no.
Don't you dare hurt him.
What the? Jose, put that down. Don't be messing with us.
Let him go. Now. You were talking business with me. If you hurt him, I will shoot you in his defense and I won't miss.
Whoa, Mr. LA boy, all better than us. While he's carrying around a loaded gun.
Don't come closer. The laws here are on my side and you know it.
God damn it, Jose.
Tell your buddies to back off.
Suéltalo pues.
Now, get out of here. All of you.
Jose, you hella tripping.
You're so freaked out by this guy when I've been listening to you the whole time too, idiota.
You gonna regret.
Shut up and go.
Slowly, Pocho and the gang members exit. Ben, still very frightened, tries to run away, but Jose holds him back in a firm but friendly way.
Calm down, buddy.
Please leave me alone.
Can't you see I just saved your ass?
I shouldn't be here.
Dude, chill. I want to make sure you're okay.
You've got a gun.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. It's not loaded.
What?
Please, just talk to me for a minute. I want to make sure you get out of here without running into those guys again.
Okay.
I ain't like those guys. You gotta believe me.
Okay.
Why are you here anyway?
I come here sometimes. I like the view of the city.
I always come here. How come I've never seen you?
I've never come this late before.
Never come here at night. It's dangerous here in the dark.
I probably won't ever come here again.
Don't say that, man. I like the view too. And I come here to get away from all the craziness on my side of town. And yours.
My side of town.
This freeway is the dividing line between the east and west sides, isn't it? You hella don't look like you're from the west side.
I'm from the east side.
You see?
Shouldn't you put the gun away now?
Oh, yeah. It's unloaded, and I don't got ammo.
You're a good bluffer then. They thought it was loaded.
Yeah, they did. I'm just bringing it back from LA for my dad. My little brother stole it from him and took it down there.
Why did he take it all the way down there?
We used to live there, and he went back to join a really bad gang. My uncles there got him in it. I wanted to get him out.
Did they try to get you in it too?
They know better than that.
Are those guys in the gang?
What? Them? They're just a local gang. Compared to the gangs in LA, they're like babies.
Them? Babies? I should never go to LA.
How long were you up there for?
A while. I saw you arrive, but didn't say anything because, well, it made me kind of nervous.
You don't need to be nervous about me.
Sorry. I guess I'm just not used to West Siders. Are there gangs all over the place?
Just a few bad apples. I tried to convince my brother to come back here to Weston because it's better than LA, but then he got arrested. Soon he was in court, and soon after that, he got sentenced to deportation. And then he was gone like 2 days later. I couldn't believe how fast it all happened.
Was he, well, undocumented?
What? No, my family is documented. We got political asylum from El Salvador. But if you do stuff like my brother did, you don't get to stay documented.
I see.
Most people on the west side are good people. We're not like the stereotypes you east siders probably have of us.
Well, don't people on the west side have stereotypes of us?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably think we're all Scrooges.
What's a Scrooge?
It's never mind. Should we leave before those guys come back?
They won't come back here tonight. I'm waiting a little longer, and besides, this is good convo right now. Aren't you enjoying it? My name is Jose.
That's what I heard them say. My name's Ben.
A good name for a friend.
My dad's a U.S. attorney. They handle deportations, among a million other things. If you want, you can tell me more about your brother. Maybe I'll have some ideas.
The courthouse was so crazy. They had my brother there. His lawyers asked some questions, but really didn't care. I said he wasn't trying, so they kicked me out, but now I plan to study what law is all about. My goal is to become a lawyer too because of what I saw those people put my brother through. I snuck into the courtroom. Ramon looked all alone. The judge said, deportation. The lawyer checked his phone.
That sucks, Jose. I'm sorry. I see it all the time. My dad's like that attorney, but prosecutes the crime.
Then maybe you can teach me how it's done?
Are you sure? Because it's a lot of work, and it isn't very fun.
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us. Because I want what I see. I'm ready to shake the halls of power and earn a degree. Could have set my brother free.
I'm going on a limb here, but maybe it's a sign. This fall, I'm starting law school at my parents' choice, not mine. And this summer, I'm an intern, and Monday's when I start. And my dad might need another. Let's show him that you're smart. I'll see if I can make my dad agree.
You're saying you could get a summer internship for me?
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us. If he'll let you apply and whether he makes that call, sometimes you still gotta try while the moment's passing by.
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us. Because I think you're a bro. I guess I should make sure all my things are ready to go, study up on what I know.
I have no idea how my dad's gonna react to all this, but I almost dropped out of the internship myself. Right now, I just got back on a bus from San Francisco. I was about to stay for good, but my dad was pissed. Maybe since I came back, it'll give me some leverage.
How will I know if he says yes?
Here, let me get your phone number. I'll send you a text.
Maybe I can just meet you there on Monday?
Oh, okay, sure. Do you know where the DA's office is?
I can look it up.
It's by the federal courthouse, like a block away. I have to be there by 8:30, so maybe we can meet out front? If you're serious about this.
I'm serious. It would be a very good opportunity, thank you.
Life's a highway.
Going my way.
We can take the scenic byway.
Together we can weather the unknown.
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us.
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us.
I swear we can make them fall so hard into the dust.
I'm ready to break them. I'm ready to break these walls.
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us.
I'm ready to break these walls that stand between us.
I'm ready to break these walls.
I'm ready to break these walls.
I'm ready to break these walls.
These walls that stand between us.
Fade to black. Fade up on a residence in the west side shortly thereafter. A cozy kitchen with one door leading to the outside and another leading to the rest of the tiny house. MARISELA is rolling out dough while Luz works on a pile of college applications.
This one's in rural Vermont, and this one's from the Florida Panhandle.
Why are they all so far away?
They're not all far away. Ooh, this one's from England.
What about closer to your mama and papa?
Isn't the whole point of college not to be close?
These schools are like stalkers. They're worse than the cholos. This is what we get for having such an intelligent daughter. Ay, Dios.
Gracias, Mama. Still, I feel kind of guilty.
¿Por qué?
It took the life of one entire tree to print the materials they keep sending. Can a girl enjoy the summer before her senior year?
You need to get an early start. I wish Papi and I could do more, pero you need to get a scholarship for these schools.
Whoa, this one costs $80,000 a year just for tuition.
Ah, pues a very big scholarship.
Jose enters abruptly through the back door.
Ah, use the front door, mijo.
I didn't want anyone seeing me.
I hope you're not talking with those neighborhood boys.
Never.
Just ignore them and walk away.
Yes, Mama.
I'm so happy to see you. We missed you. Careful. You'll get oil all over.
Hola, Lucita.
Hola.
I'm back from LA.
Nice. Did you convince Ramon to come back?
What's all this?
I'm trying to pick colleges.
These look like vacation brochures.
You're the one vacationing. How did LA go?
Definitely not a vacation.
Is everything okay?
Don't worry, Lucita. Would you please stop growing up so fast?
What happened in LA? Where's Ramon?
Josito, bienvenido.
Gracias, papá.
How was that lady?
I think Jose's hiding something.
Where is Ramon? Didn't he come with you?
You were supposed to bring Ramon back with you?
I got Dad's pistol and brought it back. It's in my backpack.
Gracias a Dios.
But what about your brother? You said you could convince him to come home.
They deported him.
What?
¿Esto nos dices ahora?
No. Jose, dime que estás mintiendo.
I didn't know how to tell you guys on the phone. I thought it would be better to wait and tell you in person.
¿Y cuándo sucedió esto?
On Monday.
Dios mío. 5 days ago?
They did it so fast.
You should have told us that moment you knew. Why didn't you do that?
I didn't think it would finish like this. Like I said, they moved so fast. Before I even hit me what was happening, he was gone.
You were supposed to help your brother, and now you made it worse.
What did I do? Do you think it was easy watching that happen?
This is unacceptable, mijo. And your uncles?
Uncle Carlos said it was not his responsibility to get involved. He said I should be the one to tell you.
Of course he said that. Poor Romancito by himself in El Salvador. Where could he be? I don't even know how we will reach him. I don't think anyone I know would have been there to meet him.
Amor, be calm. We will find a way.
I think my cousin Rita, she's still there, but I don't have her number or her address.
We'll get it from someone in LA, Amor. It's his own fault. He knew the choices he was making and did it anyway. We tried to tell him.
I wish you could have seen him in the courtroom. I felt so humiliated for him. All he had was a stupid free lawyer that just wanted his paycheck and to go home.
You, Carlos, should have helped him. Find a lawyer.
He didn't care.
He was probably worried he'd be next.
I never want to see someone go through that again. So I decided that I will become a lawyer now.
What?
Go for it.
It's a bit late to decide to become a lawyer, no? Do you know how much college costs? You didn't work hard enough in high school. How are you going to pay for it? And do you know how much studying it takes?
I will work hard now. College can't be that expensive.
It's that expensive.
Expensive! This is not the time to be thinking about yourself. Your brother is in El Salvador. We have to worry about that. If anything, you should worry about finding a job because we will need extra money. We have to find your brother. We have to find a way to get him back.
I think Jose has a good idea. What if more immigrants had a lawyer that understands what it's like? I remember when Jose and I arrived at the border. They treated us like criminals.
Well, I think I found a job that can help me become a lawyer.
Don't tell me you're going back to LA when you just got back.
No, a job here with the district attorney.
District attorney? Aren't they the ones that do deportations?
I think so. It would be a good way to learn about it, no?
I don't want you anywhere near the people that do deportations. How can you think of that when they just deported your brother?
Mama, if Jose is serious about this, you will need some experience.
I want to hear how he found a job with people that do deportations.
You make it sound like I'm trying to do something bad.
In the song A Foot in the Doorway, Jose explains to his family what an internship is. Marisela is against it. Omar is for it with reservations, and Luz is proud of her brother. Then we fade to the east side, a lavish kitchen where KRISTINE sits reading from a large family Bible. Ben tries to slip in quietly and sees her there praying.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Oh, it's so good to see you. Why didn't you let us know you were coming back?
I'm an adult, aren't I?
Your father was worried you decided to skip town. After all we've done to get you into law school, your friend Andy told him at work today that you went to San Francisco and were planning to stay.
Wow, I can't get anything past you guys, can I?
Eugene, are you awake? You might want to come down to the kitchen. So did you like it there?
I mean, what should I say? It's a pretty town. I can probably join a hiking club now.
Why were you planning to stay? Did you feel like you fit in there?
I mean, it's not like you'd expect from the movies, and I'm sure there are nice people, I just didn't meet any.
Oh, I'm sure there are. Maybe it wasn't the right time.
I did meet this guy on the way home.
Oh? Well, you know that we will support your freedom to choose.
It's just a guy I met by the bus terminal. It was late and getting kind of dark, and there were these... Well, this guy helped me get home okay. We kind of hit it off, and I want to introduce him to Dad.
Now, your father's going to need some more time before he accepts this, honey. And did you take the bus all the way back to Weston? Why You need to call us. We could have paid for a flight.
Mom, calm down. I was just chatting with this Latino guy. He wants to be a lawyer, and his brother recently got deported, so I was telling him about my internship, and he sounded really interested. Do you know if Dad ever decided on looking for a second intern?
You'll have to ask him.
Eugene enters the kitchen.
Well, look who must have run out of money.
Ben's back to start his internship on Monday. We were just talking about it.
You could have told us. Andrew said you were gone for good. I was about to make some frantic phone calls and find a new intern. Why did your phone keep going to voicemail? Did you use up all your minutes chasing after a San Francisco treat?
Good night.
Ben exits in a hurry.
Goodness sake, Eugene.
What? Can't anyone take a joke?
Ben was just telling me about a Latino boy he met on the way home.
I don't want to hear about it, please.
Let me finish. It's a boy here in Weston who wants to be a lawyer. Ben told him about his internship, and he might be interested. You aren't still planning on a second intern, are you?
Well, we need one. But first we have to retain the one we've got.
Well, tomorrow, why don't you try again to welcome your son home and then ask him about this boy? He seems really eager to help him. It's the first time I've heard Ben mention anything about an internship without rolling his eyes and getting snarky.
Of course it would take a boy to do that.
He just wants to help.
Of course he does. And what makes you think I would bring on any intern he met off the street?
Well, that's why you two can talk about it.
Trying to talk to Ben is like punching a brick wall.
Oh, then don't punch.
What's your point?
My point is, listen to your son and stop making little jabs at him. That's a good way to lose him forever.
I'm sorry, honey. It's late. Can we resume this conversation in the morning?
Stop dodging this and just promise me you'll talk to him.
My son has forgotten who's on his side and who isn't. Exactly how do you expect the conversation to go?
What's a father? What's a son? Will you two still be there when all is said and done? What's a partner? What's a friend? Do they stand by each other to the very end? See him. He's your son. Not only life and blood, he also needs your heart. Love him as your own. Embrace him where he stands. Give him the chance to do his part.
What's a father? He protects. How can I do that, though, without my son's respect? What's a partner? He defends. And we do more for him than all his hippie friends. See him at what cost? His life is too unsure to waste it on a dime. Love him when he's lost because we blinked an eye, because we didn't see in time.
See him.
I won't let him down,
Love him.
as my duty demands.
Embrace him
I'll have my son
where he
where he
stands.
stands.
The scene shifts to the U.S. District Attorney's office on Monday morning. We see a statue of Lady Justice with her sword and one of Lady Columbia with her flag and shield. Over one of the doors is the sign U.S. Attorney Eugene L. Berkson. Lawyers and paralegals are bustling around. Ben is there with Andy.
Are you ready for this?
Ready or not.
I hope you slept because I'm about to rack your brain.
Fun.
That's the spirit. So, shall we?
It's only 8:32. Give it a minute.
He's not coming. I told you he's not going to be the type.
You have to meet him first. He's probably trying to find it.
If he can't find an office building, how will he handle the LSAT?
He'll study, just like we all did.
All right. Speaking of study, first question. Which one of those paintings is Lady Justice and which one is Lady Columbia?
Why should I care?
Because we ask all the new interns. You've got to know your symbols.
Well, the retro patriotic looking one must be Lady Columbia, and the one who looks like her arms are tired must be Lady Justice.
Right you are.
It's not like my dad works here or anything. Why didn't they put up Uncle Sam instead of Lady Columbia?
Excuse me, I'm the one asking the questions?
Jose enters timidly, dressed in the most formal clothes he owns and carrying a folder.
Jose!
This place is so fancy.
This is Andy Tuffin. He's one of the lawyers here.
And Ben's best friend.
Nice to meet you. I hope I get to work here.
Andy is about to show us around. Then we'll introduce you to my dad.
That's right, Jose. But first, look at those paintings. Which one is...
That's Lady Justice and that's Lady Columbia.
Who's that?
Well, if you're lucky, possibly your new boss. We're guardians of Lady Columbia, loyal lawyers through and through. We've sailed the 7 seas of litigiousness, and we're warrior wordsmiths too. When justice must be served, we'll be gallant, or freedom be preserved, we'll be valiant. When laws have been decreed, we defend them, for we're the ones that comprehend them. We're guardians of Lady Columbia, loyal lawyers through and through. Whenever there's a legal way to raise a fuss, you can always count on us. If there's a need to hurry, no need to worry. We will rally to your side, and if the hour is pressing, no second guessing, we will tally-ho and stride. And if the crime is urgent or still emergent, we will leave no stone unturned until all our cases are won and court is adjourned. For we're the guardians of Lady Columbia, loyal lawyers through and through. We've sailed the 7 seas of litigiousness, and we're warrior wordsmiths too. When justice must be served, we'll be gallant, or freedom be preserved, we'll be valiant. When laws have been decreed, we defend them, unless we see a need to bend them. We're guardians of Lady Columbia, loyal lawyers through and through. Whenever there's a legal way to raise a fuss, you can always count on us.
This has turned into a big production number with all the paralegals, and it ends with Andy parading Jose up to the big door, out of which comes Eugene.
There he is. Welcome to day 1.
Dad, this is Jose.
Who?
The guy I told you about.
Oh, yes. Eugene Berkson. Well, I believe you must be Mexican?
I'm from El Salvador.
Well, I'm assuming those are some documents you've brought. Excellent. Tell me, Jose, why do you want to be a lawyer?
I want to be a lawyer to help people.
You see, Ben, some people really get it. Jose, why don't you step into my office?
Eugene invites Jose into his office while Andy and the paralegals take up the song again.
If hooligans play rough, we will nail them, or gangsters show their stuff, we will jail them. If migrants don't play nice, we will find them and get our friends at ICE to bind them. We're guardians of Lady Columbia, loyal lawyers through and through. Whenever there's a legal way to raise a fuss, you can always count on us. U.S., United States Department of Justice. That's us.
At the end of the big production number, Eugene and Jose come back out the big door and shake hands.
Glad you could come in, Jose. For a kid with 0 college under his belt, you already know a lot about immigration law. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Looks like you've met Andrew, who's been with us for a couple of years now. He will help you out.
Yes, Mr. Berkson, thank you.
Eugene goes back into his office.
Damn it!
I got the job!
Wait, what? Dude, congratulations!
Welcome on board. Looks like I'm training the two of you then.
That's the spirit. Well, shall we? Oh, sorry. You're the one asking the questions.
As Andy leads Ben and Jose off, we shift to the streets of the West Side later that afternoon. Pocho and his gang members are loitering and making drug deals. Once alone, Pocho ducks into a side alley and starts to count his money. Jose walks by carrying his folder protectively. As he passes the alley, Pocho steps out.
Look at the pretty boy. Ain't Luz a bit old for her quinceañera?
This is how you dress for a job.
This is how I dress for my job.
An honest job.
Bruh, why you always be dissing us? Our clientele thinks we're doing an honest job. We're making them happy. It's all real business-like.
You're making them dependent on you.
The only difference between me and you and us is we live in reality. All you got is dreams.
Dreams can become reality.
With money and luck, they can become reality. You got any of that?
I got enough.
What about Ramon? Did he find an honest job down in the jungle? You want to know the difference between you and him? You got twice the smart. He's got twice the heart. It's too bad because there's money out there. Simply supply and demand, and Jose is missing out. How much they paying you at your job?
It's an internship for the government.
What? They ain't even paying you? Maybe you ain't got the smarts.
Enough to know that this is not for me.
Money's not for you? And I guess freedom's not for you.
This is not freedom.
In America, money is freedom. But freedom isn't free. Everyone knows that. My money comes at a price.
What price?
Loyalty.
Loyalty? Your guys ain't loyal, they're only scared. I'm not scared, and I think it bothers you.
Of course they're scared. They came to me because they were scared. Scared of being left out of school. Scared of the streets. Scared of their dads. Scared they don't got a dad. Scared of losing their dad. Scared of losing their house. They give me loyalty and I give them hope. And they earn in the dough.
But what if they're not loyal to you behind your back?
I know they're loyal. They all had to sacrifice something. It's the only way in.
Sacrifice? What sacrifice?
Something they really don't want to. It could be a weapon, a girl, a car, an enemy. It depends on the person. Your brother Ramon used to always go bragging he could get a gun. So that's what I asked from him. And when he wouldn't do it, I knew he was fake.
Maybe the gun wasn't his.
Oh, that's right, homie. You the man with the gun. You know, someday when you come to me, and I know you will, I just realized what your sacrifice will be.
You know, you wouldn't last a day on the streets of LA.
I ain't in LA, so I don't care. We all become this eventually. It's how we get back at the system and make some money at the same time. When you're good and ready to accept that, you know what I require.
Pocho exits, and once he's out of sight, Jose begins the song Expectations, in which he laments the inner struggle between his dream and his fear that the system is rigged against him, and that in the end there is nothing he will be able to do about it. The scene shifts to Ben working late at his father's office, who also sings about being suffocated by the conflicting expectations coming from his family, his friends, his conscience, and his desires. He's conflicted over what society expects from someone like him who is rich and privileged, but who doesn't fit societal norms. Jose and Ben join together in harmony, even though they are singing from different parts of town. How can they deal with expectations? Rebel, fight, destroy, appease, go along, run, hide? Every choice leads to a different path and to a different end. How is one to choose? The scene shifts to a bar in downtown Weston immediately following. CERAH is bartending like she could do it blindfolded, and Dom sits at the bar sipping a drink still in his dance clothes from rehearsal.
They should be here any minute.
Who? Ben and Andy? Ain't they working late tonight?
Andy texted me just before they left.
That's dope. I haven't seen Twinkle Boy for ages.
I want to hear how his first day went. It's about time he has to work his butt off like the rest of us.
First, we're going to ask how his little trip to Mecca went. That boy keeps ghosting me when I text him.
I want to know why he wimped out. There are so many gay men in Chicago that live a fulfilled life. I just know it would be the same for Ben if he had the guts to move into a major metropolitan area.
Yeah, but you're from the hipster part of Chicago. It ain't that easy for everyone. People still got to exist in the real world.
You think Ben lives in the real world? He needs a shot up the butt of courage.
More than courage, honey.
Why is it so hard for rich kids to cut the leash?
I say let the man explore at his own pace. And when he's ready, he's ready. I'm tired of everybody thinking they know what's best for us. We're all different. And trying to be gay where I grew up in try being gay where I grew up in Harlem.
At least you left when you had the opportunity.
Yeah, to Weston, where I'm still single as a Pringle.
Andy walks in, followed by Ben.
Oh, come here, you!
Hey, guys.
How was it? I want to hear everything. Tell me what you thought of the Castro. I hope you ate lots of sourdough. And did you find the tiled steps I told you about?
Hey, Sarah, tell your questions to line up single file.
Before you ask him about San Francisco, you should be asking him about Jose.
Jose?
Who's Jose?
Ben's new love interest.
Oh, brother.
How else would you describe it?
He's just a guy.
Oh, yes, just a guy he met on the West Side when someone tried to jump him and who he's developed a Stockholm syndrome for. So he goes and invites this guy to apply to the same internship he's doing so he can follow him around with a drool cup all day.
Hear what I've had to put up with ever since we left the office?
Wait, this true? You're working with a guy who tried to jump you?
No, I ran into some aggressive guys down near the bus station when I got back, and Jose was there and saved me.
Aw, Prince Charming.
He's a really nice guy, and he wants to be an immigration lawyer. But he's also really confident and street smart. I just wanted to help.
Need a drool cup?
So, in order to seduce this guy Ben has no business even talking to, he invites him to the DA's office and plays the nepotism card, and Mr. Bergson just gives him an internship, like, on the spot.
Ben's dad did that.
Right?
Sounds like somebody's jealous.
Jealous? I'm not getting paid extra to train them, and I have to work it into all the other crap I have to do already.
Poor little rich girl.
Do you think this guy's into Ben too?
He doesn't sound like the type.
Make that a definite no.
No?
He's not gay, 100%.
Andy has the most accurate gaydar around, so I guess it's a no.
Seriously, you guys are blowing this way out of proportion.
We've been here with you before, and I don't believe that we are.
I'm just trying to make a new friend and do something positive. You should have seen how excited he was today when he got the job.
You should have seen how excited Ben was.
Ben, I can tell when you're lying, and I'm sensing you're into this guy. Sounds like we'll be spending another night trying to talk you down from this.
Good luck with that. They'll be working together all summer.
Lord have mercy.
I wish you guys would stop assuming that just because I try helping someone out, I'm only doing it because I want something out of them.
We know you too well. You're a walking hormone.
Well, maybe the trip to San Francisco did me some good. I'm sick of all the shallowness. Maybe I need a straight guy friend for a change.
Look, Ben, we admire how you're always trying to give your energy to people you think need you, but usually they don't deserve it, and this is how we keep seeing you get burned over and over again. You need to pursue relationships with some potential and stop hiding behind a dead end. I swear your parents are still in your head way too much. If you have feelings for this guy, what's his name?
Jose.
If you've developed feelings for Jose, and now you'll be working side by side with him all summer, when we had planned on you being in San Francisco right now, I can already see how this is going to end up.
Thank you.
This friend is sure to be the wrong priority, so hear me out. There's so much more to see.
You come up to us to mope like we'll know how to cope with all your shit.
Language?
Let's wash his mouth with soap.
I feel you, bro. I do. Let go and you do you. And never mind this piece of poo.
Screw you.
Man knows how to rhyme.
Look, I know you guys mean well, but you haven't even given me a chance to explain.
I know your parents think you've gone astray, but what you need is to be free to play. Hey, some random guy makes you feel such and such. We had you covered. Thank you very much. Huh. Everywhere I seem to turn, I'm surrounded by the old school baggage you keep on buying. Well, I think it's time your universe was pounded. Look around. It's already dying.
Bromance is kind of in these days.
Oh, stop encouraging him.
Sometimes the old school ways are hip, I know, but for the moment, gotta let them go. Whoa!
We need a way to get your suitcase through. Finally take a ride in something new. Woo!
Ben, you know that we're your friends and love you dearly, and the single life doesn't do you justice. We've been here before, and you're not thinking clearly. Come on now. Are you gonna trust us?
Gonna trust us?
Old school things.
You're cruising around with your old school things. Here's a joyride to the 7th degree, and it makes your life a daredevil spree. Old school things. You're head to head with your old school things. And you know you can't deny it. You're going to have to try and let go, or how are you going to see?
They dance wildly and the bar patrons join in.
Old school things. You're cruising around with your old school things. It's the joyride to the 7th degree, and it makes your life a daredevil spree. Old school things. You're head to head with your old school things. There's a lot of ways to fight 'em. It's not enough to spite 'em. You gotta get 'em down on their knee. Old school things. Stop giving in to those old school things.
And no doubt they're gonna get you.
Time out. Not gonna let you.
So shout, because you gotta be free. Yow!
The scene shifts back to a workday at the district attorney's office several days later. Eugene enters from one direction, Jose enters from another direction, preoccupied with some paperwork, and bumps into Eugene.
Oh, Mr. Bergson, pardon. I'm very sorry.
It's okay, son. Everything going well?
I think so, thank you. Wait, can I ask you a question? What's the difference between a district attorney and a prosecutor?
That's an interesting question. I love how observant you are, Jose. The titles are actually referring to two different things entirely. As district attorney, I represent the United States when charging a federal crime. There are also district attorneys for our state, each one representing a particular county or district. A prosecutor is simply whatever attorney or lawyer is acting on behalf of the party pressing charges. In my case, the United States. So when I bring a case to the court, I am the prosecutor, and I act in my duty as a U.S. district attorney. So I'm both.
I think I understand. So what is an attorney general?
The attorney general is the top post in the Department of Justice at the state or federal level, and who has attorneys and staff working under him or her.
So you are a district attorney. That means you are not an attorney general.
I appreciate the promotion, but I am only a district attorney for our state, working under the attorney general. There's only one of those, and he lives in Washington, D.C. Now, beneath me, there are several lawyers, such as Andrew, who trained you, and not just here in the Weston office, but in regional offices too. They all report to me, and I report to Washington.
It is so detailed.
Only way to run a country.
Thank you, Mr. Bergson. I will return to my work now.
Jose exits as Eugene watches, impressed.
Anytime.
Eugene exits to his office as Andy and Ben enter from the hallway.
You need to do a cleaner job at making photocopies. These are for a court of law, not a bunch of kindergartners.
Seriously, what is wrong with those?
For example, here the page is smudged. You mixed up these two page numbers. And look, I swear these page margins would make the Tower of Pisa jealous.
Okay, I'll be all anal about it then.
This is not a joke, Ben. Mistakes like this can cost us cases. It's happened before, and then dangerous people are allowed to walk.
Okay, but this is one time, and we caught it. So we're good.
That's not the point. The point is, it's only your second week, and you're already making careless mistakes. What's going to happen when you get comfortable?
At this rate, I'm never going to get comfortable.
Jose enters again.
Hey, Ben. I was looking for you. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Never been better. How about you?
A paralegal told me about a Salvadoran restaurant only a few blocks away. Want to do lunch there today?
Lunch?
We go to lunch.
You mean you've been going to lunch and have never invited me?
Hey, you're always so busy, man. I thought it crossed some sort of professional boundary.
Well, you could have at least run it by me.
So what do you think?
Of course. Then we can talk more about law school.
Well, shouldn't I be the one talking to him about law school since I'm the one that's actually been?
Yes. Thank you, Andy.
Well, Andy did go to Colombia.
Colombia is not that far from El Salvador.
Eugene enters with a rolling cart full of documents.
Why am I the one rolling this cart when we have interns? These need to be put in order and then delivered to the recorder.
That looks like a ton of work.
Good. That's what you're here for. Andrew, I know you've got a lot on your plate, but a new domestic abuse case just came in, and I need to know whether we should charge it as moral turpitude or aggravated felony. Either deportable.
I'll do it right after I go to lunch with these two.
I'll actually need it done now. The victim is coming in this afternoon to give a statement.
Yes, sir.
Eugene exits back into his office.
Enjoy your law school chat at Taco Bell.
It's a Salvadoran restaurant. Pupusas.
I don't want to know what that is.
You should go visit the West Side sometime. Latin culture is more rich and varied than you might realize.
Be careful, he might fall in love with it. Ben is.
Is that what Ben's doing?
There's a big Latin dance every Saturday. You should come.
Oh, sorry, don't do dancing.
You do when it involves laps.
Ha ha.
Come on, Andy. We can invite Dom and Sarah, too. One of our friends is a professional dancer. He'd be in it for sure.
I think you guys will like it.
I think I would like to get back to work. Excuse me.
Andy exits, and Ben and Jose look at the cart of documents.
Well, this isn't going to do itself.
I don't understand where to start. My brain is getting so tired.
You're doing fine. Here, let me show you how the docket numbers work. Okay, so this first number should all be the same, but just double check. And then these numbers should all be the same this year, but double check. And then you can basically ignore those first numbers and look at these letters. Group all the same ones together and then see these numbers after them. Put those in order, and voila.
You were right. Sometimes law work isn't fun.
Buddy, you're only at the tip of the iceberg.
I'm worried that if I mess one thing up, I might make your dad upset. It must be easier for you since you're his son.
I've basically been a law intern my entire life, but you're learning faster than I ever did.
I don't know if I'm even smart enough to become a lawyer.
Seriously, bro, why are you suddenly being hard on yourself? You've got experiences and street smarts I could only dream of having. That night when I met you was one of the most terrifying things I've ever been through. Whenever I think about it when I'm alone, I freak out more and more. I don't know how I held myself together. And it must have been the adrenaline, seriously. What would have happened if I had been alone when those guys came?
You have to keep calm, like you don't care. But also have a pissed off look on your face.
You see? You're all worried about learning this law stuff, but me? I wish I could be a tough guy like you.
Why? I like you the way that you are.
Well, I want to at least be tough enough to stand on my own 2 feet and defend myself.
So you want to be a tough guy. Lesson 1. Best to run. So you want to be a tough guy. Well, don't take the bait and hang around. You'll be found and bound for the pound. I'll tell you how to be a tough guy. Better safe and sound instead of in the ground. When you want to be rough, don't gotta be buff. Just know your stuff, like when enough is enough. That's if you want to be a tough guy. Lesson 2. Talk it through. So you want to be a tough guy. Well, don't take the bait and hang around. You'll be found and bound for the pound. I'll tell you how to be a tough guy. Better safe and sound instead of in the ground. When you want to be rough, don't gotta be buff. Just know your stuff, like when enough is enough. That's if you want to be a tough guy. Lesson 3. Fight to flee. So you want to be a tough guy.
Well, don't take the bait and hang around. You'll be found and bound for the pound. I'll tell you how to be a tough guy. Better safe and sound instead of in the ground. When you want to be rough, don't gotta be buff. Just know your stuff, like when enough is enough.
That's if you want to be a tough guy.
The scene shifts to a West Side Precinct gymnasium that Saturday evening. The decor is colorful and the salsa music has several couples dancing, whirling around the gym. Luz arrives and looks around for her brother, but instead runs into Pocho and some of his gang members.
Luz. Luz, I know you can hear me. Didn't anyone teach you manners?
Sorry, I'm waiting for my brother.
Which brother?
Sorry, I don't know you very well. I'm kind of busy.
Oh, I know you well. Just ask your big brother. How much longer until you're 18?
Please let go of me.
You know, if you really knew me, you'd be saying the opposite.
Jose enters, proudly leading Ben, Sarah, Dom, and even a reluctant Andy.
Sorry, I see my brother. I'm gonna go.
As Luz heads over to Jose and his guests, Pocho and the gang disappear into the crowd.
Hola, Luz. Hey, everyone. This is my hermanita. These are my friends. Ben is the guy I was telling you about.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is Andy from work, and then his friends.
CERAH.
Dom.
Good to meet you.
Is everything okay?
There was this cholo guy. He says he knows you. He made me feel really uncomfortable. You aren't hanging around those guys now, are you?
What? Never. Why would you say that? I'm hanging out with gringos, see?
What's going on?
Nothing. What's going on is we are going to teach you how to dance.
No need to teach me or Sarah, shall we?
Sarah and Dom hit the dance floor and start dancing impressively.
How do they know how to do that?
They didn't grow up here, remember?
Well, how do you know how to do that?
TikTok.
Oh, God.
A big production number starts up, Dance Floor on Fire, a Latin pop number a la Ricky Martin, with Jose leading the group.
The rhythm's a prism burning me. You dance in a trance and you can't imagine the panic you're about to see. The warmth of the storm goes third degree. It started a spark and the flame goes higher like fire. Cuidado! The music is hot and you'll never get away. Cuidado, you're already caught in the way. 'Cause the dance floor's on fire.
Let the party come, get it started, and feel the bright sun.
Yeah, the dance floor's on fire.
See it burning now. Keep on turning until the night's done.
Nothing's holding it back, not the snow in the mountain or the flow of the fountain, or the waters that meet the ocean. Set your body free, get your feet in motion.
We'll measure the pleasure. Let's begin. We dance and we chant till we find a treasure. The air is fair, so breathe it in. A feeling so real, you let it in. The heat gets your feet, and you're in the hour of power.
Cuidado.
The beat will ignite you. There's nowhere you can hide. Cuidado. You'll light up the passion inside, because the dance floor is on fire.
Let the party come. Get it started, and we feel the night sun.
Yeah, the dance floor's on
fire.
See it burning now. Keep on turning until the night's done.
Nothing's holding it back.
Not the snow in the mountain or the flow of the fountain or the waters that meet the ocean.
Set your body free.
Get your feet in motion.
It's a big explosion.
Because the dance floor is on fire.
The floor's on fire, fire, fire.
Where else could you go? It's so good you don't need to fear it.
Burning, burning, burning.
Let the music in.
Fire.
When you choose it, can feed your spirit.
Dance floor on fire.
That was lit.
I'm glad you liked it.
Where's Andy?
That's a good question.
Is that him over there?
Oh dear.
What?
Look at him. We probably should head out.
You just arrived.
I'm sorry, Jose, this is really fun, but we told Andy if he didn't like it, we'd leave immediately. It was the only way we convinced him.
Don't let Andy dictate your ability to have fun. Let's talk to him.
You want to try? Be my guest.
I thought he'd be a little better than this.
Dancing ain't his thing.
Sorry, Ben. We tried.
Okay. I'm staying, though. You guys don't mind?
Go.
See you guys Monday.
As everyone leaves, the scene shifts to the Alvarado kitchen later that night. The kitchen is deserted when Jose, Luz, and Ben come in quietly through the back door.
It's nice.
It's small.
Shh. My parents are sleeping. Let me see if there's any left. You have to try this.
Thank you for showing me how to dance better. I know it must have been weird to dance with your brother's older friend.
You can't be that old. How old are you?
23?
I'm 23. It feels old.
Seriously, whatever happened to Forever 21?
Marisela enters from the house.
Hola.
Hola, niños. Do you know what time it is?
Hola, mamá.
Who is this?
Mom, this is Ben. He's the friend I told you about.
Hola.
¿Es el hijo del abogado?
See?
No lo quiero en mi casa.
Mamá, ¿por qué?
Is everything okay?
My children have to sleep. Please leave my house.
Mama, he gave us a ride home.
Marisela starts to push Ben out the back door as Omar enters from the house.
What's going on?
Es el hijo del maldito abogado.
Papa, what's going on? My friend Ben came dancing with us, and he offered us a ride home.
We need to talk with our children. So thank you and good night.
I'm so sorry, man. I don't know why they're doing this. Come on.
Where are you going?
To take Ben to his car.
If he can drive a car, he can take himself to the car.
I should go anyway. It is late. Thanks for everything.
Nice to meet you.
Ben exits.
You must quit the job at the court.
Why?
I should have known better than to let you do that job. All those gringos are the same, and you should not let your dreams get in the way of seeing reality.
What happened? Would you please tell me what is going on?
Marisela thrusts a letter into Jose's hands.
What is it?
Your father received a summons. They think he is involved with your tios in the Mara.
How can they say that? We don't live anywhere near them.
Money laundering? Aiding and abetting?
Let me see it.
And look, who signed it?
Eugene L. Berkson.
Ben's dad? Why?
You are the one that wanted to become a lawyer, no? You tell me.
I don't understand.
I feel sick.
Lights fade on the Alvarado kitchen and shift to the Berkson kitchen where Eugene and Christine are sitting in near darkness when Ben enters and turns on the lights.
Where exactly have you been, young man?
Jeez, scare a guy half to death.
It's so late.
Shouldn't you guys be asleep? What is this, high school 2.0?
You took our Mercedes.
Mom said I could.
I did, but I didn't think you were going to be out half the night with it.
What normal adult gets constant surveillance from their parents?
If you are going to borrow the car like a high school student, live under our roof like a high school student, or act like a high school student, then we have every right to talk to you like a parent.
Oh, is that how it works?
Eugene, you've always called us if you were staying the night with friends. Your father tried calling Andy, and he said you were out with Jose.
Okay. So, yeah.
Exactly where did you go with Jose?
He invited us Latin dancing. Andy, Sarah, and Dom were there too.
Was this on the west side?
Yeah, but it was in a safe area.
Safe area? How do you know that?
Because there were like 100 other people there.
And that makes it safe? You lied to your mother.
I didn't lie.
You told me you were going to a party.
It was.
Ben, you were untruthful with me. You never mentioned a thing about Jose or going Latin dancing. You know how your father is about the cars. If I had known, I would have at least let you take the Lexus.
Not even the Lexus. Most Grand Theft Auto happens on Saturday night.
Well, by now it's Sunday.
From here on, the scene shifts back and forth between the two kitchens.
On Monday, your father will go to El Salvador, to the Salvadoran consulate for legal help. Jose, you will call Tío Carlos and get as much information as possible.
I need to talk to Ben first.
You will not talk to that boy again.
I work with him.
You have to quit that job. It is one thing to work with the gringos and their systems, but to invite them into our family? You have been selfish, and now your father has to pay the price.
How can you say that? I bet Ben never had anything to do with this, but I'm confused too, so I have to talk to him about it.
Listen to your mother.
Answer your mother.
I thought I told you enough, okay? So sorry. If I said I was going to a Latin party, Dad would have freaked out for no reason because he's just a racist who's never going to get over Uncle Timmy getting hit by that car and is going to take it out on every immigrant he ever meets for the rest of eternity.
You can't expect me to hate Ben just because he's a gringo.
It's because he's the son of a person who deports our people.
But he is not like them.
How can you question me after what happened to Ramon? After you told me how hard it was to watch him go through that, how will it be with your own father now? You have to choose where your loyalty is, Jose. Is it with us, your familia? With your own people? Or is it with his people that threaten your family and your people? It cannot be both.
Mama, I am choosing to be a lawyer so I can help our family and our people. Papa knows. He agrees with me. He said so.
I don't know what to think now.
I don't know what to tell you. All you two end up doing is driving the wedge deeper and deeper.
Ben is the one driving this wedge.
You're both acting like children, and it has got to stop.
How can you ask me to stop? There has to be another way. Please, let me stay at the internship. I will prove it to you.
If you expect to live in this house and be a member of this family, then you will understand why we don't want to see you working with those courts. I would rather see you make a good living here with your own people. Do something you prepared for, than watch you sell your soul to the gringos who work against your own familia.
See, Mama.
Sorry, Mom.
Now, everyone go to sleep. I don't want to hear another word. We will talk in the morning. This family has survived much, and we are not going to stop now.
In the Alvarado kitchen, Marisela and Omar exit into the house.
I suggest we all go to bed and discuss this more in the morning.
What to discuss? I've said all I have to say.
Can I get my car keys, please?
Ben practically throws the car keys at Eugene and then exits the kitchen.
Would you like to try that again? This time without lacerating my hand?
Tomorrow!
By the way, you never told me your friend was,
What?
the whole time we were dancing, he kept looking over at you.
He was trying to learn the dance moves.
Don't play dumb, like looking. You know what I mean.
Lights fade out on both kitchens as we shift to the district attorney's office the next Monday. Ben is working but keeping an eye out for Jose. Andy walks past.
Has he come in yet?
I keep telling you I don't know. I do know your dad is pissed.
No shit, Sherlock. Something must have happened.
Yes, something happened. Only one intern came in today, and I don't see him doing his work.
Andy exits. A moment later, Jose starts to walk through, ignoring Ben.
Jose! Hey, man!
Jose knocks on Eugene's door.
Come in.
Jose waits a moment, then knocks again loudly.
Come in!
Jose stands his ground, and eventually Eugene opens the door.
Jose, you're late. Ben's looking for you.
I cannot be an intern anymore.
Pardon me? Are you saying you want to quit?
I'm sorry. Yes.
Jose, we just got you trained. You would need to stay on at least 2 more weeks while we look for a replacement. What's going on?
I need to go. Here's my badge.
Do you need to talk, son? This is not what we come to expect from you.
Omar Alvarado is my father. You are trying to deport him.
I don't know what files you've been looking through that you weren't supposed to, but that man may have serious gang connections, and his last name is Sanchez, so you don't need to worry.
Sanchez is my grandmother's last name. My dad does not have any gang connections.
You know, Jose, interns are not brought on to worry about the legal details of our cases. I'm sorry if you think there's a mix-up, but I suggest you get back to work and let me look into it.
I cannot work with you anymore.
You know, Jose, when we brought you on here, we took a huge gamble. I know my son especially went to bat for you, but you had a lot of nerve coming up to my office and talking to me like this. If you're related to Mr. Sanchez...
Mr. Alvarado Sanchez.
Then you must really be showing your roots, because no subordinate of mine has ever had the audacity to come pounding on my door like this, make me answer it like a butler, and then proceed to talk to me in the aggressive manner you are now.
I'm sorry, but I have to go.
You know, the problem with so many aliens is the way they come here and act like they get to boss the whole country around. In what other nation does it work this way?
Jose walks past Ben on his way out of the building.
Hey man, talk to me. What's going on?
I'm sorry.
Jose exits and Ben walks over to his father.
What was that all about?
Before you go around trying to pick up guys you meet off the street, you might want to look a little more closely at their background.
Jose is better at this than me. Why would you say that?
There's a case against a man in Weston that may have ties to a gang in LA. Of all the strangest of things Jose says, that man's his dad.
Is he?
How should I know? They don't even have the same last name.
Spanish names are usually hyphenated. Is Alvarado one of the names?
It looks like Jose isn't going to be working here anymore. So I'd suggest you get on with your work and forget about him.
What did you do? Fire him?
He quit.
Is it because of the case? Are you trying to deport his dad?
My duty is to protect Americans. It's a sad fact that people don't always turn out to be what we expect. So you need to accept it.
Accept what? If Jose quits, then I'll quit too.
You're not quitting. You're my son. Just where do you think you're going?
To talk to Jose.
Not while you're on the clock. You think that pile of work is going to do itself? Ben, you get your butt back here right now.
Ben exits, Eugene slams his door, and we shift to the freeway underpass shortly thereafter. Jose is sitting at his perch holding the letter in his hands when Ben enters.
Hey. Why wouldn't you talk to me? Is it true? About your dad?
My dad is a good man.
I know he is. But my dad said there was a case against him.
Jose shows him the letter.
There is.
Sorry to hear that. If you quit, I quit too.
Why?
Because I believe you.
You have everything given to you on a plate, while other people want it but can't have it. If you quit, you're stupid.
I want to be on your side.
You can't help us.
Is any of it true? Does your dad have connections to a gang?
No.
Then why the case? This doesn't make any sense.
My mom has 2 brothers back in LA that are in a gang. I think my dad tried too much to help them get out of it.
I'm sorry. I wish I could understand you and your family better.
You will never understand.
Well, help me.
Help you how?
For example, I've always wanted to ask you what it was like growing up in El Salvador. I read there was a civil war there, and so many other problems. If you tell me what it was like, I will listen.
There was a civil war when I was a kid. Everyone thought they were the right ones, but to me they all seemed just angry. The government came one day and shot my grandfather in front of our house because he said some things against them. I saw them do it, but they didn't catch me because I was hiding in the trees. My mom was afraid, so she left El Salvador with my little brother and went to Los Angeles. She was pregnant, so that's where my sister Luz was born. My father and I had to come later, but it was a very hard journey. Some gangs tried to kidnap us in Guatemala. I saw so many people get shot, and then the Mexican police were not nice. When we got to the United States, they stopped us and made us go back to El Salvador before we could even talk to the U.S. border people. So we had to do the whole trip a second time. It was so long. You could not even imagine. Then we got to LA. It was a new war on the streets. The Mexicans did not like us, so we had to fight for ourselves. My uncles started doing really bad stuff, and they always knew people so they could get out of trouble. My brother didn't know people. So when the police caught him, they sent him back to El Salvador. And we don't know where he is, and we're scared for him because the same gang is down there too. My family thought that in Weston we could escape all of that, but it followed us here. I guess it's my destiny. You're lucky to have the life you have.
Look, I can't even imagine what you've been through. It breaks my heart just hearing about it. My side of town has its problems too.
Problems that money can fix.
Well, problems that hide deep in the dark, and that nobody will do anything about because they're obsessed with maintaining a good image. Things that really mess with a little kid's head. There was this guy in our community. He was well liked and respected, but he did some stuff to me that, some stuff. None of the adults would believe me, not even my own parents. So that only made him feel like he could do it more. I had to learn to just keep quiet. And meanwhile, inside I was tearing apart. But I had to pretend everything was normal, so I could keep peace at home. Otherwise, I'd have the whole world against me.
Life is crazy.
Please, come back to the internship with me. We can do this.
I can't.
Why not?
That stuff is for you, but not for someone like me.
But what about becoming a lawyer?
It didn't work.
Bro, it can work. It will work. Dreams take time. A long time. So don't try to do it all alone. People need each other, man. I love you.
Don't say that. I can't take this anymore.
Take what?
This is not a normal friendship.
Bro.
It's like the universe got messed up when I met you, and I think it would be better if it never happened.
You don't mean that.
Our lives are very different, Ben. It seemed too good to last. We thought that we could hide in the darkness and overlook the past. The night we met each other here, we knew it all might end. I never thought it would be so hard to have a friend. It's strange for me to talk so clearly and truly let somebody hear me. I've pushed them all away, and I hoped that you'd be here to stay, but now I've never felt so lonely in spite of all the things you've shown me. It's time to close the door and go back to how I lived my life before.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I see you. Let me free you. I feel you. Let me heal you.
Our lives are very different, Ben. It seemed too good to last.
I love you.
We thought that we could hide the darkness and overlook the past.
Love you. I love you.
The night we met each other here, we knew it all might end.
Let me free you. I feel you.
I never thought that it would be hard to have a friend.
Let me heal you.
Ben tries to put his arm around Jose, but Jose recoils. Ben looks at Jose for a few moments and then exits abruptly without looking back. Jose watches him leave as we shift to various locations throughout the city. Throughout the song Jumping Off Point, we see various characters singing from different spots in the city.
I've tried to play their little game. We're at the jumping off point, but nothing now will be the same. I'm at the jumping off point. I fight for what is right. They'll see. Defend what they've rent from me. Be a lonely voice. It's my only choice.
Again, we'll have our day in court. We're at the jumping off point. The judge will hear a full report. I'm at the jumping off point. I'll show them what I know we must. The laws will prove our cause is just, and we'll surely win. Let the jury in.
You're muted, Ben.
It's time for me to be a man. I'm at the jumping off point. There's so much more to understand. I'm at the jumping off point. I'll leave behind the home I know, unsure of where this road will go. I'm not one to pray. Should I start today?
As the song continues, Omar stands with the Salvadoran council, pleading his cause and asking what to do. Luz and Marisela at home worry over their family patriarch. Ben defiantly proclaims he is shaking off expectations, even if it means he must stand alone. KRISTINE sings from her kitchen of how exhausted she is from trying to keep her small family together and expressing concerns but well wishes as Ben decides to move out on his own. And the rest of the cast joins in. As the rest of the cast joins in, they sing for justice and dignity and freedom for all.
Will someone see, will someone hear our deepest cry and our darkest fear?
The soul erased, but not to me. Our branch is bound to its mother tree.
I stand alone now on the edge. I'm at the jumping off point. The world has placed me on a ledge, so that's my jumping off point.
The diverse scenarios interweave. As the music builds to a climax, Pocho and his gang brothers encircle Jose almost ritualistically. Pocho and Jose clasp hands gangsta style, and Jose pulls out a gun, his father's gun, holds it up and bequeaths it into Pocho's hands. Pocho raises the gun together with Jose's hand in his. They point the gun skyward as the music swirls.
I'll make a move and take the lead to find the peace of mind I need. And all I have to do now is jump.
Blackout. End of Act 1. Thank you very much, folks. We will take a 10-minute intermission and we will see you back here shortly for Act 2. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to be collecting ourselves and getting ready for Act 2 of The Dividing Line. I turn off my camera again and we'll see you at the other end. Thank you for joining us. Act 2. Under the freeway, a couple of months later, near sunset, Jose sits at his perch, counting out a wad of money. Pocho enters.
You look rich.
Pocho reaches out his hand for the money.
Don't worry, you'll get your cut later.
Pocho takes the money and counts it.
It's not all here.
It is. Let me see it.
Are you calling me a liar?
I counted it several times.
Pocho holds out the money to Jose and then snatches it back.
Just kidding. It's all here.
Pocho counts the money again, then counts out a small amount and gives it to Jose, who quickly puts it in his front pocket.
I'm saving it up. Lawyers are expensive.
Your puppy still going at it with the feds?
Pocho takes a little more money from the pile and gives it to Jose.
Don't say I don't take care of my boys.
Pocho then takes out a brown paper bag and hands it to Jose. Jose takes the package and discreetly hides it in a slit in the back of his hood.
A natural. It's like he's been doing the dodging the popos his whole life. What did they feed you kids in El Salvador?
We would always have to hide from the soldiers.
What? Were they trying to get you to join the army?
That's exactly what they did. Anyone over 10.
Wow, that's fucked up. At least my homies come to me on their own.
Do they leave on their own?
They stay because they're smart. You know, I just realized my nickname for you. El Invisible. You know, I was talking to the homies and they were asking when you're going to be ready to join the family.
I don't know yet.
Soon, I hope.
Soon.
Good. I'll tell them. You just keep passing the money test. El Invisible.
Pocho exits. Now we see that Luz has been hiding nearby and has heard everything. She tries to slip away, but Jose hears her.
Luz? What are you doing here?
Let go of me.
No. Please, how did you get here? Answer me, Luz.
I followed you. I had to know.
Know what? Look. Whatever you think you saw, you don't understand.
I'm not a little girl anymore.
I'm trying to help Mommy and Papi.
They will be heartbroken.
Luz starts to leave.
Stop. Please don't tell them.
They already suspect anyway.
No, they don't.
It was hard enough with Ramon, but this will crush them.
Then don't do that to them. Let me figure this out.
I always thought of you as my hero, the man who could do no wrong. When you arrived, you began with 0, but soon you became so strong. And something sparked when you met that gay guy. You knew what you could be, but then you quit, and the rules you played by have failed to keep you free.
I never quit. I'm just trying a new thing to help Papa stay here, in his home. We'll pay a lawyer who knows what he's doing, and then I'll try to help Ramon.
It's all in vain if you save our father but lose yourself instead.
If that's your point, then don't even bother. Those hopes are as good as dead.
This is my dream for you. Follow your light within. Just as I've seen you do, this is your fight to win. Maybe you'll find a wife, children you call your own. Give them a kinder life. Show them you're not alone.
As the song continues, Jose sings about his dream for Luz, that she will live a long, happy life, become educated, be whatever she wants in a society that is breaking old barriers, find a man who honors her, be as wise and devoted a mother as theirs is. The siblings join voices in harmony and end in a tender, fraternal embrace.
Please don't tell Mama and Papa. I can fix this. I just need time.
Whatever you need. I'll be praying for you.
You want to know why Mama and Papa named you Luz?
Because it means light in Spanish. It's kind of obvious.
Because I asked her to. You were the light that kept me going when we were coming to the U.S. I knew I had to get here so I could see my baby sister.
Well, you missed that. I was hardly a baby by the time you arrived.
True. But you're still Milus.
The scene shifts to the Alvarado kitchen later the same evening. Marisela and Omar sit at the kitchen table, and it is clear that Marisela has been crying.
Tengo otra tía que puede buscar. No me conoce, pero creo que va a entender.
Necesitamos a alguien en mi familia. Quiero que lo entierren con mis papás. Y no solo.
No lo van a enterrar. Puedo pedir al consulado si es posible traerlo aquí.
¿Cómo vamos a pagar eso? ¿Y dónde aquí? No tenemos nada de familia aquí en Westin.
Pues en Los Ángeles. Voy a hablar con tus hermanos.
No le digas nada a mis hermanos. Why did we not leave Los Angeles sooner? Maybe he would have listened to us. Pobre mi hijo. Muertito sin su mamá.
El consulado says the police in El Salvador sent photos. He told us to come tomorrow to confirm the identity. If they can't find anyone in El Salvador, he says the body is almost unrecognizable, and I want you to come with me.
No. I want to remember Ramon the way I knew him the best. A little boy holding my hand on the way to a new life in the United States.
Jose and Luz enter through the back door.
Is everything okay? ¿Qué pasó?
To your rooms. We will talk later.
What's going on? Why is Mama crying?
Mama needs a moment.
Tell us what's going on.
They killed your brother.
Oh,
Who?
Lamara.
no.
Why? Why would they do that?
I don't know. It could be many reasons, and Ramon never contacted anyone after he got to El Salvador.
Oh. Lo siento, mamá. Lo siento.
This doesn't feel real.
¿Qué es eso, mijo? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es? Show it to me.
Cooperate with your mother.
It's nothing. Leave me alone.
You have something in there. I want to see it.
I told you, Jose, just show them.
Jose
What is that?
sheepishly takes out the brown paper bag and plops it on the kitchen table.
What is that?
You know what it is.
You promised me. You promised me, Jose.
You are a foolish, mijo. After everything we've seen, how could you do that?
Oh, hijo mío. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué tú estás muerto?
Why do boys choose foolish mentors? Love the proud, but not the wise. Follow paths where sorrow enters. Trust their fear, but not their eyes.
Such a pain I guard inside me. Only a mother can understand. Even grief shall be denied me, my son in a faraway land.
You know my dream for you. This is your fight to win. Do what you have to do. Look for that light within.
Where do I turn? How do I stop this burning pain in my heart? Where's the way out? I'm so full of doubt, but don't know where to start. Brother Ramon, I let you die alone and fall to the war. What should I do? I couldn't tell you who I am anymore.
The scene shifts to under the freeway the next day. Ben sits on his perch, staring at the city. After a moment, Jose enters. When he sees that Ben is there, he almost leaves again.
Wait. Please come up here. I just want to talk. Hey, man.
Why'd you come here?
I wanted to check out the city. It's been a while. I also hoped I might see you. I didn't feel comfortable going to your house, but I wanted to tell you I have some good news.
What news?
I started volunteering with a nonprofit that helps immigrants, and I let them know about your dad's case. We got the charges dropped.
No charges were dropped.
They were. It happened about an hour ago.
That sounds good.
So, how you been?
Okay. How are you?
I moved out of my parents and in with Dom. So, better.
Dom, your friend that I met?
Yeah. Just until I can find my own apartment. I think he's not thrilled to have a roommate, but he felt bad saying no. How's your family doing?
Not good.
What's going on? What about your sister? Is she ready to start her senior year?
I think so.
What about your brother? Have you guys heard from him?
No.
I've been studying a lot about deportation, and I think he shouldn't have been deported in the first place. If you want, we can go talk to this group. I don't know what they can do if he's already in El Salvador, but we can try. I'm thinking about becoming a social worker, you know, and focusing on refugees and asylum seekers.
I don't want to talk about this.
Come on, man. What's wrong?
I need to be alone.
Bro, I realize you're hurting, and your family is hurting. I'm so sorry about all this. I turned against my own father because of this. You're a good guy, and I hope that you haven't given up on me because of me. I wouldn't want this to change you, change us.
You can't change what never existed.
It may have been naive to think we were meant for the fast lane. But here you're chugging strong, even if it's on the last train. This journey that we choose isn't bound to stay on a one-way track, but keep on pushing forward, and soon you'll see who has your back. Riders fight for the best seats, some push each other aside, some hold on tight to their elbow room, and some are glad just to have a ride. You shouldn't have to go solo, and yes, you keep your own. But why not board that last train and let it carry you home? We all pass through the diner, and it's all you can eat, and it looks like a banquet, but know which food is right for you, and think before you take it, or you'll wind up sick and tired and lonely.
I know why you're really here, and it's something I can't help you with. I'm not the way you are.
Sure. Adios, buddy.
Ben scurries down and exits. Jose doesn't take his eyes off of him as he exits. And we shift to the Metro Brewery late that afternoon. CERAH is working at the bar, as Andy and Dom loiter at their regular spots.
No, you do the dishes at the moment you finish using them. If you have time to cook or eat, you have time to do the dishes.
Some people let the sink fill up and then wash them all together.
That works if you live by yourself or you have a bunch of kids. You can make them wash them.
Sometimes you have to leave in a hurry.
Or you need to let the dishes soak.
They don't need to soak for 3 weeks.
Okay, so that's when you say something.
If you two are so patient, why don't you let Ben live with you? Then you can do all the dishes and clean the bathroom. Lord, that bathroom.
Ben wouldn't be allowed in my bathroom.
You're gonna let Ben have your main bathroom? What about the guests?
He ain't getting no guests.
Ah, I thought it was just the law work that made him so uptight.
How about an official new plan? Ben should live with CERAH. Huh?
I only live with guys I can share the bed with.
Did I just see your eyes sparkle at that idea?
Piss off.
Ben enters and his friends immediately clam up.
Hey, guys. What?
I'll be right back. Ben, want to help with some dishes?
No, thanks.
Where have you been? We figured by this point you weren't coming.
Nowhere, I guess.
I nowhere. Do you mean my couch and my Netflix subscription?
No. The case against Jose Alvarado's dad got dropped today.
I heard.
I wanted to go tell him in person.
Did you see Jose?
I did. But he was an asshole. It's like he's not even the same guy.
Jose is the same guy, but you're just now seeing him as he is.
After all this time, I thought maybe I could reach out, apologize, or even just see how his family is doing. But he asked me to leave and said I only wanted to be his friend because I was coming on to him.
I hate phobes.
Well, he's kind of right.
No, he's not right.
Ben, the three of us were watching you the whole time, and from this angle, it was obvious. We keep hoping one of these days you'll listen to us and start using the brain in your head and not the one in your other head.
Just how am I supposed to respond to that?
You can respond by not responding. Just because you feel all giddy and empathetic towards a person doesn't mean he deserves your attention or isn't dangerous.
Dangerous?
He be speaking the truth, my man.
It's probably good I saw Jose today, anyway, because he pretty much burned his bridges. It's gonna be easier to move on now.
You know what'll be easier? When you stop chasing the forbidden fruit and accept what's right there in front of your face.
Look at Andy being all smooth.
10 points for Gryffindor.
As they talk, Jose slips into the bar and CERAH sees him.
Jose, I almost didn't recognize you. Remember me? What can I get for you?
Hi, Ben. I try to catch up with you. I know I was rude, but I should thank you for helping my dad. Are you okay? Do you want to talk?
Look, Jose, we get it. He gets it.
We can talk somewhere else if you want.
If you got anything to say to Ben, you can say it right here.
Let him talk for himself.
Look who's a little full of himself.
This is between me and Ben.
No, if you're fucking with our friend, then it's our business. You know what? I've heard some of the stuff you've been doing these days. The fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Have you told Ben? Bet you haven't because you're not comfortable around people like us, are you? So first you're a liar, then you're a quitter, then you're a hater. Oh, I can only imagine you're a disgrace to your community and family. And then you trashed on maybe the only friend you'll ever have who would do anything for you, even lick the shit off of your shoes.
I don't want to argue with you.
Yeah, it's easy to pick on the gay guy when he's all alone, but not when his friends are here with him, is it?
I don't want to argue. The reason you boss Ben around is because you feel like if you're in control, you can still have him anyway. I saw it the moment I met you at the internship.
What a goddamn little prick. Who the hell do you think you are to come into this bar and talk to me like that? Do you think this is simple, what he's going through? What we're all going through? Every minute of every hour of every day, we have to worry about what might happen if we meet some phobe like you who doesn't understand. Well, you'd better watch out because the winds are changing and we'll be coming for you next. You don't have a damn clue what you're looking for in life, and Ben doesn't want to be caught up in it anymore. And even if he did, we aren't about to watch him take more abuse from a thug like you that just wants to hurt people like us, buck society, and who, outside of his little hood, doesn't have the slightest notion about what people in the real world are going through.
You always act like everything is about you, but that just isn't true. It doesn't matter if you're rich or white or gay. You don't have all the say. You don't own the world or its suffering. You say you ache, but you don't break. You say you yearn, but you don't burn. You say you need, but you don't bleed. You say you cry, but you don't die. My brother knew these things. He fought the monster bravely until it ate him up and spat his blood across all the earth. No. You have no idea. And you don't own the world or its suffering.
Bruh, you crossed the line.
So I have no idea, huh? Well, you can get the hell out of here.
Andy, just let it go.
He can go rim his bitch mama for all I care, but don't you dare come near us or Ben ever again.
Yeah, run and tell that.
Bro, what happened to your brother?
Ben tries to stop Jose from leaving, but Jose pushes him to the floor aggressively and then exits the bar.
Oh yeah? What about me? Think you tough? Sure, yeah. Run away from the black man.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
He said something about his brother. I have to find out.
Have to? Do not. Let that sucker go.
I can't believe you said those things. Do you have any idea what he's been through? There are gangs in El Salvador. They were worried about his brother. What if he got killed?
Wait, what the crap is going on here? Just 5 seconds ago, you came in here crying that Jose burned his bridges, and here you go again.
Guys, quiet down.
Oh, I don't care who hears. The truth is, this two-faced bum bag wouldn't know his true friends, or if they slapped him across the face.
Andy, listen to him for a second.
Oh, I have been listening. For the past 3 years, I've been listening. This kid is a hopeless sap that doesn't give a damn about anyone but himself. God, I hate twinks.
Well, gee, thanks, true friend, for making it so pleasantly clear. You know, I've never let myself say this, but since we're here now, I might as well. You're never going to be anything more than a true friend to me, without benefits. The thought of anything more makes me want to vomit.
Damn, bruh.
Now, if you please excuse me, I want to find out what happened to Jose's brother. It might explain some things.
Oh, you get your ass back here. You want to try saying that again? If you walk out on us, don't you dare come crawling back.
Ben and Andy tussle, and finally Andy spits at Ben. Ben wipes it off and exits the bar.
Man's made his choice.
I can't believe you two. I'm going after him.
Oh, stop it right there. I've held my peace through the Ben Jose saga for all this time, but I'm done.
Someone about to come home and find the locks changed.
Would you guys calm down?
Peck off, CERAH. In my breath, a storm resurges and the wind emerges the friendly shore. From my mouth, a sword emerges and I can't contain it anymore. The ground is warm, the air smells, and steam is getting in my eyes. My feet are hot, my head swells, and all the earth begins to rise.
This isn't going to fix anything.
Who said I care?
Yeah, don't come for me. Trying to escape is numbing. Time does little more than wear me out. Brace yourselves for what is coming. In my ribs, I feel a fiery shout.
Oh, you best get out of my way. You've let the beast out of its cage, and now you're looking to pay because you're messing with my rage. Rage.
Rage groans from deep in my bones and starts to seep from my skin till every part of me moans.
Rage seems to creep in my dreams and sends my sleep in a spin till my heart screams, rage.
Guys, would you get a hold of yourself?
You think we're the ones with the problem?
Didn't anybody tell you when you play with fire, it burns you bad? blast the doors, and let all hell through, while its seething rapture turns you mad.
What's her beef?
Rue the man who dares to question. Wait and see when he has crossed me twice. Hold your tongue from all suggestion. If you don't, you'll pay a costly price.
You'd best get out of my way. You've let that beast out of its cage, and now you're looking to pay because you're messing with my rage. Rage.
Rage groans from deep in my bones and starts to seep from my skin till every part of me moans.
Rage seems to creep in my dreams and sends my sleep in a spin till my heart screams. Rage.
Run, don't you hide, you've been spied and we're sure to find you.
Come to my lair if you care. If you dare, run and hide if you care.
Rage groans from deep in my bones and starts to seep from my skin till every part of me moans.
Rage seems to creep in my dreams and sends my sleep in a spin till my heart screams.
Rage groans from deep in my bones and starts to seep from my skin till every part of me moans.
Rage seems to creep in my dreams and sends my sleep in a spin till my heart screams. Rage.
During this next song, we see a montage of scenes of our other characters. Ben sitting alone, MARISELA weeping, Omar in a suit meeting with a consul and looking through photos, Luz praying, Andy, Dom, and CERAH continuing to argue, EUGENE at work, KRISTINE reading a Bible, POCHO and some gang members running away from something, Ben waiting at a bus stop.
Somehow in this world I see there must be a place for me where we know that we belong and our tears are turned to song, everyone in harmony. Somehow in the realms of space there must be a better place where goodwill is never far, and we find it where we are, arm in arm and face to face. Why do people want to speak before they want to hear? And why are we so quick to scream at everything we fear? And why do we want limits on what others think and feel? So bent on being right that we forget how to be real. We must change this somehow. We can try it right now. Somehow when we lose our way, darkest night still turns to day. We can share the warming flame, even if we're not the same. Come what will or come what may, somehow though we're miles apart, we must find a single heart. We can stand for something true that's beyond just me or you. Lift your head and look around. There's a whole wide world to be found. All we have to do now is start.
As Jose sits at his perch, Pocho arrives.
El Invisible. Another day, another dollar?
I can't today.
That's not the correct answer.
It's not a good day.
There's customers out there who need us.
Bruh, I need to think.
You think too much. You gotta trust your instincts. People who don't trust their instincts ain't around to tell us about it no more.
My brother trusted his instincts.
He thought too much too. And look what happened to him.
I'm not doing any more jobs for you.
I'm pretty forgiving, so I'm gonna give you another chance to answer my question, but without making a mistake. You ready to do this job?
I want out.
I must be hearing funny, because I heard my pal Jose says he wants out when he knows full well the only way out is...
And I want the gun back. I never went in all the way, so I want it.
It's not yours to take back.
I'll give you back everything you ever gave me. I was saving it up.
What will you do about your poppy?
He's not gonna have any more legal worries because of me.
Bruh, you be stoning if you think you can just walk away. Homeboy knows way too much.
We both know way too much, so don't worry about me. We'll just leave each other alone. Keep quiet and keep our distance.
You made a sacrifice, and when you did, you became one of us. If you walk out, it's high treason, and we don't allow that.
No treason. I just want my dad's gun and to make peace.
You'll never have peace.
Look, if you're not gonna give it back, I'll find another way. I'm not gonna argue, but I gave you a chance.
Don't try to talk tough with me, wankster. If you want your gun back, it's gonna come at a price.
What price?
Bring me your sister, sweet little Luz. She's got eyes for me, you know? I'm gonna show her what a real man is like.
You'll have to find a different price.
You don't set the terms here.
Go to hell.
Yeah, and go get her. I'll be waiting right here for you. You're gonna trust your instincts on this one. I know you are.
The scene shifts to the Bertson kitchen later that day. Ben sits in the kitchen in a deep depression. Christine scurries around him, making him a snack.
Thanks, Mom.
So, how's it been having a roommate?
I didn't think we'd argue so much, but pretty good.
Your father will be home soon. He'll be happy to see you.
I don't think I'll be staying that long.
Well, stay as long as you need. This will always be your home.
I'll keep that in mind if Dom ends up kicking me out.
Did something happen?
No. It's just that today we all got in a fight over my old friend Jose. Remember the guy I brought to the internship?
Of course.
I tried to see him earlier, but he pretty much ended our friendship.
What?
Then he showed up at the bar, and my friends were trying to stick up for me and get him to leave. But then Jose said something about his brother in El Salvador. I think he may have got killed. What? Because Jose said something about his blood being spilt. But Dom and Andy still laid into him, and Jose got offended and left. I tried going after Jose, but Andy flipped his lid. I couldn't find Jose. He went that fast. Now all of us may never speak to each other again.
Give it time. It'll blow over. Your father mentioned Jose recently.
I bet he did. Today we got the charges dropped against his dad.
Not about the dad. About Jose himself. I remember he said Jose is involved in a gang.
What? No. Andy was saying something like that. Jose would never.
That's what he said. And if so, I can only imagine he'll be pursuing deportation.
Jose wouldn't join a gang.
Your father wouldn't say something like that without evidence.
Does Jose know about this? Oh my god, did he know the whole time?
I only told you what I know.
They can't deport Jose. His life could be in danger. The gangs in El Salvador are brutal. God, why don't people realize that? We have to stop Dad before he puts their family through that again.
I don't know what we can do.
I'll call my action leader tomorrow. Maybe we can warn Jose and his family in case they don't know about this.
Oh, why don't you give him a call?
He never would give me his number. Oh, and crap, he won't even talk to me anyway, especially not now. Can you go talk to them?
Oh, they don't know me. I think it needs to be you.
I can't. Jose only thinks I want to be his friend because I'm trying to come on to him. From the very beginning, it was so humiliating.
Oh, it doesn't matter what he thinks. If you believe he really could be in danger, you have a duty to do something.
I'll call this guy named Jason tomorrow, but we need to let Jose know about this tonight so we can start preparing. I don't think I'll be able to sleep if I don't.
You'd better go now then, because your father's due home soon.
It can't be me. Jose literally pushed me away.
Then try again. He'll see that you care. You love that boy. I've known it ever since you first brought him up at the dinner table.
Oh, great. Now my own mother is saying it.
Oh, Benjamin Bergson. You know exactly what I mean. Now you just need to believe it.
Believe what?
Time sweeps by, and moments flutter, off into the past they fly. Years run dry, the days leave clutter, still our dreams must fill the sky. And through all our hopes, and through all our fears, and through all things in between, one thing is endless, come to defend us. Listen to I believe in love. Love is where it starts, and with the meekness of a dove, it nestles in our hearts. Love's our common creed, and it simply must prevail. Love can succeed when everything else tends to fail. I believe in love.
So that's it? Love is the answer? It's not that simple, huh?
Love is slow to wrath, and we pass the test. For when love truly guides our path, it brings us to our best. Love is quick to care, in a tender, humble way. Love nature than air, it smudges our anger away. Love is quick to bless, and time forgive, and with its gentle
I couldn't live with myself if something happened to Jose. I'll go.
Do you want to take a car?
Sure. But not the Mercedes.
Not the Lexus either.
The Ferrari?
We don't have a...
I'm just kidding. I can take the bus, but I better go now.
Eugene arrives home and enters the kitchen.
Well, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Hi, Dad. I was just leaving.
I saw the amicus brief you and your little group filed. I bet you're happy with yourselves.
We are. Did you have anything else you wanted to tell me?
I don't think so. Why?
Something involving work?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
About the Latino boy from the internship?
Oh, is that what... Did you tell him that?
No further questions.
Ben exits.
What was that all about?
So, you're proceeding with that case against Jose?
I can't go around sharing details about an open case. Stop prying into my work.
This is not about your work. It's about your son.
How is it about Ben?
He just found out Jose's younger brother was killed by gangs in El Salvador. He's afraid the same will happen to him if he's deported.
Ben worries too much about others and too little about himself.
To pursue a case against the dad is one thing, but to go against a boy you knew personally and who you had such great things to say about and who you know your son cares about deeply is unforgivable and frankly, evil.
Evil?
Yeah.
Since when did we become mixed up about whose side I'm on?
Have you researched the gang situation down there in El Salvador?
It doesn't matter what happens when we deport people. It's not our problem what happens in their own country.
Now you're not just being evil, you're being detestable.
Do you know what's detestable? People getting shot in our streets.
Mm-hmm.
People dying because they are addicted to the drugs these guys sell. Families being broken because of it. Cities falling apart because of it. And you say, I'm the one being evil? If Jose lost a brother to the gangs, I'm sorry. But I have to carry on with my duty. I can't afford to go around picking favorites just because my wife says so.
How could you, of all people, say something like that?
What do you mean?
A man who lost his own kid brother when undocumented migrants killed him in a hit and run.
There's no comparison between the two.
And yet you're about to do to Jose and his family what those people did to you. Where does it end?
It ends when I keep my son safe.
Your son loves Jose.
What you and I have is love. All our son has is misguided mind and hormones that are out of control. How can you not see this?
Would you stop that? He's your son, our son, flesh of our flesh. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but if I hear you continue to belittle him like you do and kick him while he's down like you do, all in the name of protecting him, then I swear after 25 years of marriage, you are going to force me to make a choice I never thought I would have to.
What's that?
I dare you to force me to choose between my husband and my son. Go on. I dare you.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about what?
Don't you know I care about him too? More than anything.
He doesn't know.
There are proceedings against Jose, and we were planning to sue for deportation. If you want, we can go talk to the family.
Would it break some sort of law protocol if you did that?
It might. We couldn't use anything we learn in court.
Okay.
It could result in a mistrial.
What if it results in a saved life?
Tomorrow,
What about tonight?
Tonight?
Ben is on his way over there now. I think tonight would be good.
Oh, great. And you let him just go. What is that boy thinking?
He's thinking he wants to save his friend.
God almighty, I better get over there. I'll need to stop at the office. Okay. The address should be on some paperwork.
Would you like me to come along?
The last thing we need is our whole family on that side of town at this hour. Wait, is Ben taking a bus over there? Could you call him and tell him to get back here? I can save him the trouble.
He might still be waiting outside. I don't know how often the buses come at this hour.
I'll go tell him then.
Honestly, I think you'd be best to meet him down there. He's pretty upset and you two would just argue the whole way.
Well, tell him I'm on my way to visit Jose and his family then, and to leave it to me. I'll ask them about their son in El Salvador.
Sure, okay, I'll try calling him.
Unbelievable.
Eugene gathers his stuff, which he had hardly finished setting down after work, and prepares quickly to leave and gives his wife a kiss.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I love you.
Love you.
Eugene exits. Christine picks up her cell phone and dials, but there is no answer. We shift to the Alvarado kitchen, where Marisela is tidying up and Luz is working on college essays.
Mama?
See?
What was the hardest part of making the journey from El Salvador to the United States?
Why are you asking me this?
For a college essay.
You should ask Papa or Jose. They were the ones that came by land.
Why didn't they fly like you and Ramon? You never told me.
It's complicated. I came here to be with your tios before you were born. Papa wanted to finish some things in El Salvador. When it was time for him and Jose to come, they couldn't get a visa.
Suddenly, Jose barges in through the back door and walks straight past his mother and sister and exits into the house without stopping.
What's with him?
He's this way every day lately. When we came, your tios had money and a way to get us an entry visa.
Why did you only bring Ramon and not Jose?
Papa and I didn't want the others to travel alone. Jose stayed with him and Ramon came with me.
If your brothers helped you and Ramon get visas, why couldn't they help Papa and Jose too?
I don't know. I think the laws changed. I also didn't know your tios were in the Mara. If I knew, I wouldn't have gone to LA. I would have waited to come with your papa. Maybe if I had done that, Ramon. In a way, it's my fault.
Mama, nothing is your fault. You've sacrificed everything for us. Wherever I go to college and whatever I do with my life, I hope I will honor you and Papa and honor Ramon's memory.
Mija, you are so good. I wish Jose was the same.
Jose is going to come around. I just know it.
We thought Ramon would come around, but he didn't.
Ramon thought the world was against him, and it wasn't all his fault for thinking that.
Papa and I taught him he could be anything he put his heart to.
Yeah, but not everybody out there believes that. One of our teachers made Ramon feel like the system was rigged against him and that he would always be held down because of who he was unless he became a fighter. He said it really bothered him that a teacher of all people would say that. But in time, he started to believe it too. He became poisoned with anger and resentment. He didn't talk to me much after that. I think he saw the gang as a way to get back at the system and belong to something bigger.
He belonged with us, his family. Why would he doubt that?
He didn't doubt that, Mama. Don't think that. The problem was that...
There's a loud, frantic knocking at the back door.
Who could that be?
I don't know.
Luz opens the back door and sees Ben.
Hi.
Luz! Is Jose home? I need to talk to him about something urgent.
I don't know. Mama?
Mrs. Alvarado, where's Jose? Please, I need to see him.
Do you think you can just walk into my house?
I'm sorry. Please, Jose could be in danger.
Leave our house immediately, or I will call the police.
Please listen to me. I just found out my dad has a case against Jose. They think he's in a gang, and they want to deport him.
We heard today they dropped the case against our dad. Are you sure?
I barely found out. I saw Jose earlier today, but didn't know then. He said something that makes me think something bad happened to your brother in El Salvador.
He was killed by a gang.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. We can't let them deport Jose.
I don't want you near my son. Leave my house now. Omar!
Please! I know you guys must hate me. I am so sorry about everything. Mrs. Alvarado, I care about your son, and I want to help, but I need to talk to him now. Please believe me.
Jose is not here.
Do you know where he is? Luz, have you seen him? Please, please, oh God.
Sorry, Ben. You know as much as we do.
I know where he is.
Ben suddenly rushes out the back door.
Mama, what can we do? Papa!
Omar enters from the house.
What is happening?
The DA's son was just here and he said they want to bring a case against Jose now and deport him.
Is this true? Marisela?
No pueden. Hijo mío, no pueden.
Where is Jose?
His room, maybe?
They cannot take my son. Amor, we have to stop them.
Jose, come in here.
What can we do? Ay, Dios mío, not Jose.
Be calm, mi vida.
Jose enters from the house.
What's going on?
Go and pack your bags. You are going to LA in the morning
Why?
to see your uncles.
I hate LA. Would someone tell me why?
They want to deport you. Your gay friend just told me.
¿Por qué, mijo? ¿Por qué los pandilleros?
No, it's over. I promise. Did you say Ben was here?
Just now, he was.
Why didn't you tell me?
Don't worry about it. Go and pack now, everything.
But I want to see Ben. Where did he go?
Go now, Jose.
Jose, do what your papa says.
I'm going to call Tio Carlos.
No, I will call him.
I want to talk to Ben. Why didn't you guys come get me?
Stop discussing this with me and do what I say.
Luz, what happened? Why did Ben leave? Where did he go?
I don't know. He was here looking for you and then he just ran off. He said he knew where to find you.
I know where he's going.
Jose runs out the back door.
Jose!
Jose!
Stop him!
I cannot run fast as him. Jose!
From the main part of the house, we hear a faint knocking, which gradually grows more insistent. And then we shift to under the freeway, immediately following. It's dark and eerie. Ben arrives and begins to look around for Jose.
Jose? Are you there?
Ben sees a silhouetted figure up on the perch.
Jose!
But it turns out it is actually Pocho, who fends off Ben with a hard punch that sends him to the ground. Other gang members come out of the shadows and surround Ben.
Who this? This ain't him.
Best to run.
Ben tries to run for it, but the gang members catch and hold him.
No, please.
You know Jose?
Talk it through. I don't want any trouble. I was looking for my friend.
You the guy from that one time? Oh, damn, he is. You ain't very smart to come back here.
My dad works with people in the FBI. They'll find you guys. Let me go now before anything bad happens, and I won't say anything.
You think I'm gonna believe some rich pussy? I don't know why you coming back for Jose after all this time, but he don't got friends, and he ain't here to bail you out your weak ass like last time.
He is here.
Jose appears from the shadows.
Let him go. It's me you want to talk to.
We'll talk when we're done here. You already on thin ice, cause the homies know you've been going soft, and you better not mess with us in this weather this time either.
That's my friend. Let him go now.
How's this piece of shit your friend?
Ben? When they let go, you need to leave. Don't worry about me.
I'm not leaving without you.
You see this, homies? Jose's leaving us to become a faggot.
We both have an interest in helping each other and avoiding the cops. All I want is for everyone to leave here safe.
POCHO brandishes his gun.
I'm safe. Bruh, who you think you're trying to talk to? You want a piece of this? What's the matter? You gonna come at me?
You're too scared of the law to be stupid like this. My buddy here is the son of a district attorney. You mess with him, you're gonna have the feds all over you. You'd lose everything.
Shut the fuck up. Wanna see how scared I am? Boys, let's show him.
Jose and Ben make eye contact.
Number 3?
Suddenly, as if on the same wavelength, Jose and Ben spring into action, attempting to get Ben free and fight to flee. Chaos ensues. POCHO's gun goes flying and it becomes a full-out brawl. Suddenly, the gun fires loudly and there is a scream. POCHO and the gang members flee in every direction, leaving the gun behind. Ben collapses, grasping his leg in pain and bleeding heavily. Jose tries to tend to Ben as Ben becomes more and more groggy.
Stop moving.
Jose, go! You have to get out of here.
It's bleeding too much. Be still.
My dad wants to deport you. Run!
I'm not leaving you here.
Go! I can't let them deport you. Someone will find me.
No one is coming. Look where we are.
Sorry, man. I tried to be tough.
You were amazing.
Jose? Am I gonna die?
Stay with me, Benny. Breathe.
Jose? Te quiero.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
At this moment, Eugene, Omar, and Luz enter the scene.
This is the place.
I see somebody.
Jose, is that you? Ben? Jose? Is that Ben?
Eugene pushes past Jose and cradles his son.
Call an ambulance, please. He's shot.
Luz dials her cell phone. Jose comes back and tries to apply pressure to Ben's wound.
What did you do? Get away from my son!
Dad, please don't deport Jose. He saved me. He's my friend.
Eugene watches Jose tend to Ben and begins to sob.
Hope is coming, Ben. You can do this.
Omar notices the gun on the ground and almost picks it up, but doesn't. In the distance, the faint sound of an ambulance begins to build. Slow fade to black. We shift to a United States federal courthouse courtroom 3 months later. Eugene is on one side of the courtroom. On the opposite side is Jose with his attorney. The courtroom is packed with the Alvarados, Ben, KRISTINE, CERAH and Dom, and other friends of the family. A judge sits in front of everyone.
Your Honor, in light of additional information and context that has come to light in the case of United States versus Jose Alvarado Vertiz, the Department of Justice is hereby dropping all charges against the defendant and recommends an immediate reinstatement of his permanent legal residency status.
Court acknowledges the plaintiff's motion. Thank you, Mr. Bergson. This court is now adjourned.
The judge hits his gavel and exits, and everyone in the courtroom cheers. Omar, MARISELA, Luz, KRISTINE, and Ben come over to congratulate Jose.
Congratulations, man. I'm so happy.
Thanks, amigo.
Congratulations, Jose.
Touche!
Now we can start getting ready for school. Winter semester is right around the corner.
If you guys are such BFFs, why don't you become roommates when you start college?
It's because they took my advice, honey.
KRISTINE notices Eugene alone on the other side of the courtroom and approaches him. You're muted, Judi.
That was a wonderful thing you did today.
Thank you, Mr. Bergson, for encouraging Jose to pursue his law dreams. We are so grateful he got a scholarship.
It helps to know a few immigration firms that sponsor their interns. And they took my recommendation very seriously. You should actually thank my wife. She did the groundwork.
Nah, don't be silly. If we look at the big picture, it all started with you, Mr. and Mrs. Alvarado.
Wepa!
I'm glad your leg is better, Ben. Jose told me that you will do a master's in social work.
Yes, and I've been working on my Spanish. He trabajado mucho en mi español.
Huh?
Qué bien.
You must be very happy for your son.
I'm happy. Eugene is still coming around to the idea of social work.
Oh, behave. I'm sure Ben will give his best to a lot of people that need it.
Hey, Mr. B, what happened to the homeboy that shot Ben?
Well, let's say homeboy won't be bothering Ben or Jose again for 20 years to life.
We're ready to break these walls that stand between us.
We're ready to break these walls that stand between us.
I believe in love. Love can see us through, and like the polar stars above, it's there for me and you.
Spread your arms with mine and we'll feel the morning sun. And as we shine, our hearts will be melded as one.
We come in different colors and with different faces, and what a perfect painting when we're all sharing spaces. Don't you agree? So let's all get along.
And as you know, we always hear so many voices, so many things to be, so many different choices. Yet in the end, we just want a place to belong. So I believe in love.
No matter if we're living life in rags or riches, our genes are all the same with only minor hitches, and it's okay because it makes us real.
But there's no guarantee of what the future brings. For in our hearts we carry two important things, the power to hurt and also the power to heal. So I believe in love.
You believe in love, or even try to believe. Just think of all the things that we can hope to achieve. True to the core will be stronger than stainless steel, because I believe in love.
Yes, I believe in love. Do you?
I believe.
What are we waiting for?
Because I believe in love.
If you believe in love or even try to believe, just think of all the things that we can hope to achieve. There's magic all around when you believe in love. Or it's what really matters most when push comes to shove.
Now go ahead and shout it.
Ready to soar.
And don't you ever doubt it.
Open the door.
Welcome the world with love.
I believe in love.
Hermanas, hermanos, bailamos y cantamos esta canción. La música se enciende, quemando nuestras almas con su calor.
Levanta bien las manos y abres bien el cielo tu corazón. Escucha lo que sientes, la magia del sonido del amor.
Yo creo
en el amor.
Sí, yo creo en el amor.
Yes, I believe in love.
I believe in love.
The end. Thank you so much, everyone. And congratulations. Thank you so much. I want to say a huge thank you in particular to our amazing cast. Thank you so much for being with us this evening and doing such a fabulous job. I know Michael really appreciates it. Michael, you're welcome to turn on your camera and audio if you want. This is Michael Turnblom, who is the writer of the show. Thank you so much, Michael. So let me just say, actors, I know that it's late and you've done an amazing job. If you need to go, you may do so. But if you're interested in staying, I'm sure that Michael would love to hear any comments you might have, anything you want to talk about. Anyone who's watching us on YouTube, you can put stuff in the chat, or you can check the underneath the screen that you're watching. There is a link to a feedback form. I also, let me just do this. I'm going to put on the YouTube page, I'm going to put the Zoom link where we are now. And if you do want to come and take part in any feedback, let me just grab that.
And cast the same link on the YouTube page. If you want to fill out that, if that's a way to kind of put some of your thoughts together, that would be great.
Yes, I can put that. Good idea. I'll put that in the chat in a moment. Okay, so what I'm doing now is.
Dom. Thank you, Dom. I know he said yes to go.
Yeah, okay, so So folks on YouTube, there's the link. Oh, Abel's there saying, good job. Thank you for watching, Abel, and thank you for helping us cast this. And then I'm going to put the link to the form. This is sort of a nasty long link, but it will get you there. I'm going to put it in the chat for those of you who are here. So if you need to go, please go ahead and grab this. And if you miss it, don't worry, we can send it out to you. Okay. So if anyone would like to, I'm sure Michael would be interested in knowing, in particular from your point of view of your character, how you felt about the arc of the show and how it worked for you. Anything that you guys want to say, I'm sure Michael would love to hear. Would anyone like to tell Michael anything? Any questions about your? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for me, Andy's fun.
I have a special love for Andy, so
yeah, he's fun. I like him.
Indeed. Other people, especially, I guess, Rehyan and Casey. How did you feel about tracking your characters? Was everything making sense for you, and did it feel like a good journey for the characters of Ben and Jose?
Yeah, it all made emotional sense all the way through. That did make a lot of sense. I was able to just read as it was written and just have my feelings come through as I said the words.
Great.
Yeah, I agree. When I first got the hold of the script, I was truly enamored with the process of just reading through it, because it just felt like everything was very natural. I didn't have a question of like, okay, I need to flip back for a second and understand what the heck just happened. Everything built to the next moment.
We can thank Elise in our outline work for that.
Woo. It's a testament, isn't it, Michael, to spending a little more time than you would be happy with in outline, just to make sure everything's clear before you turn it into the script. And Michael was a good boy and let me keep him in outline for quite a while. If I'm not putting you on the spot, Gabrielle, since this was the first, you were reading it cold, Gabrielle filled in for us this evening as Luz and did a wonderful job.
Thank you so much for doing that.
That means it was all brand new to you this evening. So how did it, I mean, everybody else only read it once, but how did it strike you, Gabrielle?
It was great. I read it over the weekend, and I was also very, it felt like it flowed naturally. I agree with what everyone else was saying. And I feel like Luz is kind of like a reassurance for Mom, and she's pretty mature, and they talk about how she's got an intelligence about her. And I really like that, because she can still be fun and playful in some moments, but overall she's got a pretty good head on her shoulders. So it was really fun. I liked being that. It was fun.
Great, thank you, and thank you so much for joining us. I want to say a special thank you to Casey and Rehyan and Judi, who played Ben and Jose, and KRISTINE for singing for us, because you did a great job, and it's always tricky on Zoom to pull that off. So thank you very much. It was wonderful, and I wish we could have done more music, maybe another.
We did next round ballads. Those of you know me, I love ballads, but
next time
we had ready to go. Yeah.
Next time through, we'll do some more.
Yeah.
I want to do the one that's the duet with Richard. That one I want to do.
and just for people's information too, original in early versions of the story, the main focus character was Ben. But as we did a few early readings, the story that was most compelling to people, that they just wanted to know more about and were just super enthralled by, was Jose's story. So this is the second version of the script where we've really tried to refocus the story on Jose and on his family's journey. So I do have some Latin songs up the sleeves, looking for some collaborators, if any of you know, with lyrics and words. But I do speak Spanish. I'm part Italian, but not Hispanic at all. But I have a strong love for the Spanish culture. But any feedback, especially from you about the Spanish and the authenticity, this actually started working with a Latin American think tank, believe it or not, in Washington, D.C., with a Salvadoran that was there doing research on La Mara and problems with the police and corruption between anyway. So I have done a lot of study on it, but I would definitely be interested in people's real experiences. So anything you could share in the feedback would be great. But there will be some Latin flavored songs too when it's all done. So.
I also wanted to say I heard Marisela. I don't remember what your real name is.
Marlene.
But sorry,
Marlene.
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 That's how
Marlene. Hi,
Mom's
nice
too.
to meet you. I actually
Nice
thought
to
it
meet
was
you.
great. I noticed a couple of times where some just very natural linguistic things popped in, and I was like, "Oh, I love that! I love that!" It really made it feel more real to me, and it made it feel less scripted
Yeah.
when a couple of those little here and there's were added
I
in.
love that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On that
unfortunately,
note-
because we're live streaming, this will be recorded. So, Michael, you can go back and steal all that wonderful
Yeah,
stuff.
and I wrote a
already.
few, yeah. And especially Spanish speakers, it's like, which audience, because when I first did it, I pretty much had the Spanish speakers almost all in Spanish. And then people were like, no, you have to really make it more universal. And then it was interesting. I don't know if you saw the recent movie of West Side Story. So it's very interesting that Prose had. So I'm very interested in just kind of what approach works today, because I'm very interested in it really feeling like we're watching the way it would really happen in the family. And so it's a tricky balance because we want people to understand, but I do love that authentic, this is how the family would talk to each other kind of thing. So.
Can I just add, I agree with Judi. Well, yeah, I added my own because I speak Spanish, right? But I'm Mexican. When you talk about people from El Salvador or anybody, any country specifically, be really intentional when it comes to casting so that you get even more authenticity from it. And it's out there. There's a lot of, Central American talent, people from El Salvador, and you'll get even more authentic, like I said. Also, Marisela says a lot about, it's like the gringo thing, how you don't want to do it because he's a gringo. No, it's because they deport our people, right? So she's saying a lot with that. Those are really powerful words, when you're talking, especially as a Central American woman. She's saying a lot in very few sentences, and it's very to the point. At the end, it would be great if she tells Eugene, "Oh, thank you so much. Like, you saved our family," she can still be stern and be, in her beliefs still that like people shouldn't be deported. You know what I mean? She can still kind of say like, "Hey, Eugene, thanks, but how about we work on doing better?" You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it would be a great opportunity.
He's not going to get a free pass because of what he did, because he's still in business.
And she's not going to go down that easy. She's still going to be stern in her beliefs and how she feels. Page 130. It's not our problem what happens in our countries. It is, though. You want to touch on that. If you're going to talk about something so traumatic, right? Like the gangs in El Salvador, we got to talk a little bit about American imperialism and what that has to do with it, right? And where our responsibility lies on the problems that are happening in El Salvador. So that would be a great opportunity to kind of dig a little more in there. It is the dividing line. So I figured it would be an equal story of Ben, an equal story of Jose. It's feeling more still like it's more Ben's story. Ben's family has more songs. We're more talking about them, but they're going through all this trauma. And it's just Pocho and Jose who get kind of the music or the songs, you know what I mean?
A lot of those songs have to be written so you can see where they're at. But any moments you think are missed moments, at this point, if the story is kind of where it needs to be, we would do the song spotting and kind of move.
There could wind up being more songs. So you're absolutely right that Michael can look back at the scenes with the family and find spots for Luz, for Marisela, for Omar.
Yeah, there were a couple ones, for example, and hopefully you saw it as we were going past, but I had no lyrics at all for them yet, so that we kind of glossed over tonight, but there will be a couple songs with them all.
Yeah, I think part of the reason
something. Oh, sorry. You mentioned something about a think tank from Washington. That could be a little bias in their approach to how you talk about what's going on in El Salvador and the repercussions of the imperialism on behalf of the US. So I would say really consult with people who live the gang life. I've got connections, if you will. Like I grew up in LA, the hood, if you will. There's people out there, there's actors who call themselves unapologetically street who've gone through this exact scenario and have been able to tell you, why it is they came here, why they needed to gangbang, how it's a method of survival. Pocho as a character, especially as a gang member, like immediately we made him a a pedophile essentially, right? Like he's looking for this, oh, she's almost 18, you know, it's really he becomes this really super villain. You don't want to make it so hyperbolic in terms of like this trauma, because it's very triggering for a lot of Central Americans. If you're going to talk about it, be intentional and be kind of looking at both sides, you know, and don't just mention the trauma for the sake of mentioning the trauma. Kind of mention it with humanizing the characters that are really victims in the entire thing. You know, Pocho's a victim, the gangbangers are victims. They're trying to survive in a city that's really unforgiving, in a city that's kind of kept them there, you know. So I would just suggest that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
and
That's
especially
fantastic. Yeah,
that,
Marlene, actually, Michael and I have been talking a lot before this about finding him, about him going out and searching out collaborators and consultants for just that reason. So, you know, your offer, I hope Michael will take you up on it. Because that's really important.
Willing to read the script. I did work in South LA in a school and work. I mean, so it's not, hopefully not completely out of a void, but obviously I'm not coming from the same lived experience. My lived experience is more like Ben's. So it is that, you know, so, but yeah, and it is. And I feel strongly that I want to bring kind of some collaboration on, especially in today's climate, but I don't want it to be a token collaborator. I want it to be a real organic, there's a real synergy there. There's a real connection. So, and we've been looking around. So anyway, like I said, anyone that you think might want to read the story or even just sit down and talk with it. If we get to the story to the point, and any of your feedback in terms of the story arc, if we get to the point where we feel like, you know, this is working in terms of believable and stuff, then I think it's ready to start moving on to that next step. So like I said, so if I can get the story to a point where it can live with me, so if collaborations work or don't, we can still have the story there to work with.
And I think that's, you know, part of what you were noticing, Marlene, in terms of the songs, is that because the previous version of this was more Ben's story, that's why the songs tend to be the ones that were already written, and Michael hasn't had a chance to go on now and
I've written so many songs and thrown them away already too, which is kind of sad.
I can imagine.
And they were good songs too.
And I think if you have a collaborator, like a Salvadorian collaborators, they'll help you. The story right now reads kind of like a little bit white saviory, right? And you want to kind of, if you get a collaborator, they'll help you bring a more humanistic approach, because you're talking about people of color, right? So you want to bring in people of color so that they can really see themselves in a more authentic way and kind of also be the heroes, also be the helpers. You know, it's a mutual exchange. If we're cutting them down the middle and the dividing line, what's the thing that connects them together? You know, how
that's
is
the whole point of the story, especially in today's climate where it's all, we all retreat back to our own camps and stay there. Like it is to try and bring everyone together. So, which I'm hoping, it seems like a lot of commentary I've got is this is a very timely type of thing. So I'm hoping, but we got to get it right. So that's a very good point. Thank you.
Hi.
Go ahead, Giane.
Giane. I agree with everything that she was just saying, and I like, as far as like people of color, if you're going to write for a person of color, I definitely agree that you have to consult with, you know, somebody like for example, like Dom's part, there were some lines that were kind of like, you know, like let that sucker go and run and tell that, and it kind of felt like he was a caricature of a Black person, but not just like a living Black person. I'm married to a Black man. I have plenty of Black friends, and I don't think any of them have ever said like, you know, let that sucker go and run till that, and you know, and to just be aware of that. So I definitely agree with.
And I would, like I said, any more like I have along the way, I have like, I don't know if you heard the demo, but I have had some, and now that we're doing new versions, I would love any people you can send my way. I would love that. Welcome with open arms.
Yeah, and another thing I was thinking of, one thing I noticed right in the beginning was about the gun and how he was the only one who had the gun, but none of the gang members had guns, which was odd to me because, I mean, I don't have a whole bunch of people who are, you know, that I know personally who are in gangs, but it's like my brother is in prison and he was involved in things, and he wasn't even in a gang, but he had a gun. You know, it's like if you're doing street stuff and you're in the street life, usually you're going to have a gun or one of your friends is going to have a gun. And so it was kind of for me, with him like having the gun and saying like, you know, let him go, but none of them had the gun and they were all backing off, it just didn't seem authentic to the situation for me.
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look at that. This was based on the model town for Weston is Salt Lake City. And I did a lot of work with the police there and stuff. And there were just not any there were not a lot of gun related gang violence things. It was mostly knife things. So that's kind of where I got the story in. But like I said, especially where we're in LA and we're used to that more. But like I said, if anyone knows resources where I can, or if you have ideas, Johnny, am I saying your name right?
Giane.
Giane, sorry, Giane. When you leave your feedback, if you have when you leave the feedback, I would love some ideas in terms of what part, so I can take a look at that again, especially because the gun is kind of a new aspect of this particular version of the script. So,
Rehyan, you were waving your hand.
I kind of already forgot because he kind of answered it. But yeah, because I was seeing there was sort of a disconnect of how intense this gang is, because Jose does mention like, oh, compared to LA, these boys are like babies. But it's still like they're running a whole like drug operation from what I can gather, and there would definitely be at least a few guns. Again, depending on the size of, so like them having a gun for the first time, it's like, yay, unless they're just doing like weed dealers in a place that it's not legal to sell weed, and then it has to be clear that they're just, you know, a small plug for a small time, like, oh, we're just selling a little bit of weed, so we don't have guns, we don't want to get involved with that, we don't want the law here. So
it's great, good. And maybe at least you and I can discuss some of those ideas.
Absolutely, we'll take note of all this stuff and talk about it, and also continue our search for collaborators for you, because it is important.
I had a question about Ben's dialogue towards Jose. Like he'll say like bro and man. Is that kind of him not trying to show Jose any, like, I guess she's trying to hide his gayness? Like, is that dialogue because he doesn't talk like that to Andy or to his friends, right? So is that him trying, because it kind of happens throughout the script, and there should be a moment where like the dialogue gets more comfortable, where he's telling him he loves him pretty soon, so he's got to feel comfortable enough to not feel like he can't truly be himself around Jose.
Maybe
queer love is so seldom seen. Queer love is so seldom seen. You want to really express how like good, let it go kind of queer love, not hidden, weird. If they find each other, let them really bask in that love, because it's so rare,
Maybe is he trying to hide his whiteness so that they can have a relationship? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he's not hiding his gayness, he's hiding his whiteness.
Yeah. Sometimes you can over masculinize, right?
Sure.
If you're a cisgendered gay man and you're not trying to come off so I mean, it could totally be, that would probably be left up to the actor, whoever they may be.
Sure.
But yeah, it could be both. It could be,
Yeah, I was gonna say in the previous bigger script that has all the stage directors, there was mention of code switching, and I was going a little bit with that when I was talking to Ben and his family and his friends versus when I was talking to Pocho and stuff. So that can be also part of when you're a gay man like myself, how you code switch when you're talking to your straight bros versus when you're talking to your, hey girl, how you doing? We're partying. Let's go.
Also, there are a lot of gay men who are masculine and who prefer to present in a masculine way too. And that's kind of another one of the stereotypes I'm trying to bring under the analytic knife. We've got Dom, we've got Andu, we've got Ben, and they're all different. And so, but those are good things to point out. I mean, I love any questions that you have are just super valuable.
There might be an opportunity if there's some code switching on both parts of Jose and Ben, then what Marlene is talking about when they become more comfortable with each other, they can call each other on that and drop it once they, like they can really say, you don't need to pull that shit with me anymore. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
And they might find a time where they can let it go.
Mm-hmm. In queer love, find moments where you can hear, when you're talking about queer love, like write lines that queer people can be like, I've always wanted to hear that. I want that. That's, the kind of stuff we see when we see cishet relationships on screen, it's everything that every person in love wants to hear. If it's queer love specifically, let us hear those good words towards each other,
I do have
in that arena, Marlene, I'd be interested in knowing from everybody, do you it's clear, of course, that Ben is gay and that he loves Jose. That there's nothing to hide that. What do you think of Jose? Do you think that he is closeted, or that he what do you think of his love for
I
Ben?
would love to know your impressions about it. See how close we hit the marks.
I didn't get a sense that Jose was gay, I think, really until they started talking, and it was more kind of like a slow innuendo into their whole thing. I'd be interested to see how the family thinks of Jose, because this is a Latino family. They're hardcore. I mean, they don't accept us this easy, and it's not really talked about. So it'd be a great thing to kind of see, like, to also humanize the Alvarados too, right? Like, if they accept their son, which is totally possible, there's families out there that accept us, but there's others that don't. But in this case, if they're accepting, how beautiful to see that, especially in a queer love story, in a gay love story, like how beautiful to be able to see like a loving Latino family. The Latinos are going to come to this and they're going to be like, oh, that's beautiful. Like, his family accepts them and they're going through all this, but they're still there together. That'd be really powerful, I think. Or they could not, it's up to you.
I personally didn't see Jose as gay at all. He understands and accepts that Ben is. And I think in my version, the family would accept if Jose was gay. They seemed like the kind of very open, very like communicative family where they'd be like, hey, Mom, I like this dude. They just didn't like him because he worked, deporting people. But yeah, I didn't see Jose as gay, but as an accepting
Yeah, I think
friend.
I think where it gets muddy is near the end, because Ben has so more or less easily told Jose that he loves him in song. So when Jose returns that near the end and says back to him, "I love you," I think it's our tendency to think at that point that he means it the same way that Ben does.
I will say that again, when I first read the script, I had no idea where the ending was going. I thought we were really going to dive into a West Side story, a queer West Side story. I was like, yes, I love it. Then the ending happened, and I was not disappointed. Like, I don't necessarily need these two to get together for me to be happy. I will say that still, if I watch this at the theater and then I go home, I'm gonna write fan fiction about it where Jose is just bensexual. Like, I don't necessarily think that he is gay, but I do think that, maybe down the line,
But he falls in love with Ben.
He could fall in love regardless.
Sorry, B is already taken though for the LGBT. Gotta think about it.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, I don't necessarily think that is a question that needs to be pinned on for the script itself. I think that can be left up to, and then the story goes on. I like that the story goes on after this, that there's not a concise sort of will they, won't they. I mean, there is a concise will they, won't they, but it's not pinned down.
They certainly love each other, but the question of whether they will become physical partners or not doesn't have to be answered. They definitely love each other. That's very clear.
And I don't think that's necessarily like what this piece is about. I feel like this piece is about so much more, and that's an added bonus, which is great. And whether you decide in your mind whether they fall in love and go get married in a place where it's legal, or where or they don't, and they're not partners. But I think that's sort of secondary to the bigger and more important part of the story, which is the relationships between the two families and the struggles of the Latino community.
Can I touch on a pivot point? Yeah. Can I slightly pivot onto something that I want to talk about when it comes to
go ahead, Casey.
The gay part of this story? So I think there's a piece missing. There's a small piece missing, because you have this beautiful moment, in theory, of Ben describing that he has his own trauma. The problem that I'm coming up against with that particular question is, unless it's talked about just a little bit more, it feels like we are making a perhaps unhealthy connection between being a victim of pedophilia and becoming queer, and that does happen to some people, and I'm not.
Well, it does happen to a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm not dismissing that particular storyline. I know people who have gone through that, but unless there's some sort of commentary, because it comes right after he talks about his struggle to get to America, where he is shot down, or not shot down, but like he sees people get shot down in front of him, which is horrifying. And they're both horrifying stories. But for Ben to comment his own struggles right after he does, and
it does. It feels a little bit unhealthily competitive, isn't it?
Compared, yes.
Competitive.
You had trauma, but so did I. But then, as you say, Casey, the issue is that then Ben's trauma never gets brought up again. It's as if,
that's a good point.
Let me lay my cards on the table and then never have it come up again.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I know what you're aiming for, Michael. I think you're trying to create a picture of two people who both have a lot of problems in the areas that they live in. You're trying to equalize them as much as you can.
Well, and I didn't want to try. I mean, Ben did say, like, I know I could not even begin to imagine what you've been through, but don't just assume. So, but yeah, tough to take a look at it. Part of the tricky thing is it's already so long. So
I think people do that though. I think somebody will say, oh, I had this horrible thing happen. And in order to be able to relate to and commiserate and empathize, then the other person will say, yeah, this kind of thing happened to me. And it sometimes, helps to progress a discussion regarding that, instead of like, oh yeah, God, boy, that sucks. Anyway, how about those Rams? Or, so sometimes people do that. So, I mean, not to say that, it's not my decision, I'm not the writer, but sometimes people do commiserate.
It's not my decision either. So.
Or maybe Ben could say his thing first. Like, it's hard in the suburbs. I got to do da 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 da. And then Jose's like, really? I had to, do all this other stuff. And then he can just be like, oh, it's not so bad for me. There's something.
No matter which order you put it in, it feels like
that's true. Comparing them is just, it's not the same.
And I would just reiterate that for me, the bigger issue that is not that he brings it up, but that it gets dropped after that. Like, it was only used as a way of saying I hurt as much as you do. But then that sort of reveals Ben to be a certain kind of a damaged individual that we never deal with again.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think it needs to come out, like the family's trying to cover up, and don't talk about that. Like, there's some. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a blind spot. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna get at. It feels like one family's trauma is heavier than the other family's trauma in a way, even though the families with the lighter side of trauma, like, oh, my son is gay and my little brother died 100 years ago, have the bigger focus in the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I understand, and you're working on the writing, and it's a lot, but it's a lot, and like also from a Puerto Rican who came from West Side Story, the focus of West Side Story is also like gang violence, and it's like, for every time I say I'm Puerto Rican, people sing about West Side Story, and it's like, I don't know a single gang member. I don't know anybody. So like, it's the focus is a problem for me, but I understand that gangs do exist, and it might be a problem in El Salvador. I don't know anybody from there, so I don't know. So again, collaborating with people from the place.
Right, and it's absolutely true.
With a wide scope and
the new West Side Story.
Making sure you're telling their story with them. And the new West Side Story still has the same issues. It has
come under fire. It has definitely come under fire for that. Mm-hmm. Even though I think there was some attempt in the script to address it, but it wasn't enough to keep them from coming under fire.
Because of where it came from. It's not just because of what it is, because I see it as a beautiful work of art, but it doesn't represent what it's supposed to, what it's saying it represents. Yeah.
And you can say on the one hand, well, see, but we show the white boys as being, really problematic as well. But that doesn't, it doesn't even the scale.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a thing. I mean, the gangs. I mean, and to be truthful with the city and situation in model city Salt Lake. I mean, the gang doesn't necessarily have to be Hispanic. It could be Tongan. I mean, Salt Lake has a lot of stuff. It could be a mix of races. Did you feel it was? I think we went with that, and I did put some Spanish dialogue into the gang. But do you think it would help the story to make the gang racially neutral, I guess, or ethnically?
I mean, racial neutralism. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. I think it is nice to have the idea to bring other communities into focus instead of just neutralizing the whole thing and being like, well, it's not my story to tell. As long as you can tell the story with people that are part of the story and that can help you shape it and make sure that you're not just out of focus of like, I know you want to tell the story that you wrote initially, yes, but it evolved into something bigger, so you might need to find
it's
people
not
in that group.
And I think the difference between the West Side Story, because I read a lot about this just with the thing coming out, they just wanted to do a Romeo and Juliet story in modern setting, and so they said, oh, we'll just take the gangs here, and then so they just kind of said, oh, well, let's just use Puerto Ricans me wanting to do this like with MARISELA, like for example, focus on immigration and kind of really helping people see like what the hell is going on with that and stuff. I want to draw attention to that, and obviously. So it's very much. Thank you, Giane. It's very much intentional. Thank you. It's very much intentional to draw attention to that. So I definitely don't want to miss the mark on that because I feel like
and Michael, I think what you need to be hearing is that whatever story it is you want to tell, you need to make sure that you bring authentic voices into it, so that because it's not going to be something you can say, should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? You need to be having that conversation with collaborators.
Yeah, and we realize that. Thank you.
Have that experience.
Yeah, and we realize that. So like I said, hopefully the universal.
Bye, folks. Yeah, it's late. If you need to leave, that's perfectly fine.
Thank you, and please do fill out that thing. And I don't know if I'll see you all again, but it's been so wonderful watching your talents on.
You guys were awesome. You were blowing me away the whole time. You did a really, really great job. Thank you all so much.
Yeah. If anyone else
talk about. Can I just add something about Jose? So he's undocumented, right? The family, for the most part, is undocumented.
No, they are documented. They make a point of saying they are documented.
Okay.
They make a point at the beginning of saying they are documented.
I'm sorry, you're cutting out. So you said again.
They make a point at the beginning of saying that they are documented, but if they
are documented, right?
If it gets found out, if they are found to be dealing with gangs, they could lose their documentation.
They could lose. So there's a sense of like needing to stay in the country, right? So they have to be very like careful. That sense of like really kind of needing to walk on eggshells, or for the undocumented specifically, there's a sense of invisibility. That would be a great thing to talk to collaborators about too. The undocumented trauma that comes from being undocumented, I think, can really give you a lot of insight too, in that terms.
Yeah. Well said. But definitely, I hope that if Michael reaches out to you folks and asks for references and people to talk to.
Yeah, in the forum, there's a place to put, and I have your email addresses in it, but if you'd like to talk more and sit down over coffee someday and just share ideas, I would love to do that.
Yeah, and especially to be put in touch with, as you say, people who are actually El Salvadoran and have that kind of experience.
Yeah.
So Michael can bring more authenticity. And obviously
there's a lot of Mexican centrism when you're talking about Latinos. So
there is, and actually that's why I chose
we're everywhere. Yeah, so we're everywhere. We're easy to get and just, hey, hop on this thing, and that's great. But it's really important to really get specific. If you're talking about Salvadorians, get you some good Salvadorians, and I'll send them your way. I'd love to see this.
That's awesome. And you would need, if we were doing a live reading or going further with the workshop, that's something you could be very specific about. Put a posting on Actors Access that specifically says you're looking for El Salvadoran performers to make sure you can be as authentic as possible.
I just want to say that even though after all we've said, I highly enjoyed it. Like there's nothing, like it's not bad. It's just there are a lot of things where we can get more specific and more authentic, which is, and
Right. So,
tell the
hopefully what
story
you're saying
from
is that
both sides and have
there's
it
something,
equally.
there's something powerful and worthwhile
Mm-hmm.
in the basic story, but the details do need to be
Yeah.
carefully, authenticated.
I mean, my dream is that this can get a large audience and really draw attention to these things. So anything that can help us make it at that level will be more than welcome. So
It's also worth remembering that. Sorry.
Oh no, no worries.
But I'm just thinking that it's also worth remembering that you're probably going to step in it more than once, even in the final product, and that's something that you just gotta face with a hard nose and just say, Yep. Because even I mean,
raise my
with
heart.
West Side Story, it was huge at the time. Not that they necessarily put a lot of thought into it, but it was huge at the time, and they're stepping in it now. There's a time.
Well, and that's after a major rewrite. The entire book was rewritten with a lot of those things in mind, but like I say, it still wasn't necessarily enough, even though attention was paid. They rewrote the entire book.
And they did beautiful things,
sort of
but
creative product that's
the source,
And I know I'm stepping on dangerous territory just by taking things you're very contemporary. But when I started this even years ago, and it's been interesting because society has evolved. I started this in 2014. So when society's evolved, it's like
society hasn't evolved. Society has just become more vocal.
But let's say attitudes.
More ready to speak out. Yeah.
Attitudes have evolved. So, but I always said, like, this is a show that is either gonna like touch people's hearts and help us come together, or it's gonna just offend everyone. But that's kind of the point. Like, that's the problem that it's trying to draw attention to. There's this. I saw this cartoon just a couple of weeks ago, but it showed these fences and guarded, and it had a little flag in the middle saying common ground, and then had two sides arguing, and it had like media protecting people from the common ground and politicians and stuff. But I even have a new log line for it, just about a city, struggling to find common ground. So I'm hoping, I don't know, we're going to give it a try, and I'm going to work on some other projects in case it fails, so I don't feel like I'm failing.
Michael and I have had this conversation already, and I know that Michael wants to reach out, but I think what you have to bear in mind is that when West Side Story was written, a bunch of white guys writing this story, nobody thought twice about it. That's not the case today, and a single white guy can't write this story. I get it. You've got to add more people to the team, and Michael and I have already had that conversation.
Yeah, but I'm adamant. I'm not just going to bring anyone to be like, oh, I need a Hispanic name, and I still do it. It needs to be someone I feel like I gel with, that I feel we work together with, that we have the same vision for the project.
Real, honest to God collaborators who feel the same passion that you do for the story you're telling, and can bring other cultural viewpoints to it.
Yeah. So,
Jamie, we cut you off. You were going to say.
Oh, Janie, yes, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I at least appreciate, you trying to write roles and make a story for people of color, because, we just want more roles, So I think that's great. But yeah, collaborators are so important. That was the first thing that I thought. But yeah, I mean, we're out here, so I appreciate it.
Well, I do have a strong love, especialmente para la comunidad hispana, que ya hablo español, tengo orígenes italianos, pues, like, I really do, like, I'm kind of a wannabe, and I've lived in a lot of cities where, I've been embraced by the Hispanic community just because, and they're like, I'm Italian, and so they're like, oh, we'll let you be part of the club. But in what I chose to write, like, pour all this time into years, I really, I know intentions don't count anymore, but I really do, like, all these things that you're saying. I do want to try and get it right, because, like I said, I want that. Like, I'm kind of tired of the same old. So thank you. And like I said, any people you can send my way, I hope you're sensing that I'm very open and appreciative of that idea. So
there was a comment from Abel Alvarado, who's on the YouTube channel. He said that he liked the fact that Weston, the city that you created, felt like Salt Lake City or Denver, not like LA.
Okay, yeah, it was, yeah. Thank you.
Right. And thank you, Abel, because I think, I have to say that I think doing projects like this excites me, because it makes me reach out into a community that I'm not familiar enough with from the performance point of view, and being able to meet all of you has been really useful to me, and you go on my list, and I'm so excited to be able to add such
Yes.
talented people to my.
And Abel is out there somewhere too. Thank you so much for helping.
Abel
Amazing
recommended so
thing.
many people for me.
Thank
Rehyan,
you.
on the other hand, I've known for years, and I was saying it's so nice to hear you. Rehyan, you sounded so gorgeous. I remember back to when I got to hear you doing Invisible, and I am so glad to see you again, and you sound every bit as glorious and more so than you did.
I can't wait to sing with all of you live. So
You must have been about you were about 5 years old when we did Invisible, weren't you, Rehyan? Anyway, great.
I'll take it. 5 years old. I was 5 years old.
5 years old. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody. And I will make sure I'll send out a follow-up email so that you have each other's contact information, and we'll keep the conversation.
Everyone got the little link to kind of put their thoughts down. And feel free, I'll leave it open for several days.
I'll send it again
So, yeah.
too, just in case.
And if you get more ideas and want to submit another one, like just anything, yeah. And then, like I said, if you want to sit down and have coffee in person sometime, Omicron's settling down, isn't it? So hopefully. But hey, it worked well on mine. I really appreciate everyone. So, thank you. Good to see you.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, bye-bye.